Is it some devil that crawls inside of you?
Now the mic smells like it.
Fucking smell it.
That's all right. Do you want to smell it?
Yeah.
All right, we're recording now.
Oh.
Yeah, you can talk in the mic. Remind me to thank your mom for letting us use the batteries out of her vibrator because my recorder, I forgot to bring the batteries for him.
Whatever. She doesn't really use it that much anyway. So
Why?
Which kind of makes me feel like shit because that was her Mother's Day present last year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What kind?
I don't fucking know. It was from CVS.
Oh, it was like one of the
Yeah, but it was like a
big one.
It was a bigger one. It's pink.
Naturally,
It has, it's like the dolphin shape.
dolphin shape,
You
not
know,
like
little-
the
it's like-
rabbit.
It's an
shape?
arch.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
arch.
I
It's a
know
little
what you're talking
thick.
about.
She's
Okay.
my mom. I feel like she can take a bigger one. I wasn't gonna go easy on her, but it has like the little clitoris attachment.
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
bzz, bzz for the clitty.
Yeah, I guess so. And you know what's funny? Whenever I get like sex toys, whether it's a joke or if I'm gonna use them, sometimes I just lay them they're just scattered around the house. Like at my old house,
Like Easter eggs? Like so you can find them later?
No, but they weren't hidden though. They're just like there.
Oh, well, yeah, it is
Like
your
at the
house.
old house, I left my butt plug, the one that I actually used, right next to the sink in the kitchen.
I remember
And my mom
hearing about this.
it was just there. I remember one of my other butt plugs, so my mom collects, she doesn't anymore, but she has a bunch of like Coca-Cola stuff. You've seen it, like
The
old
yeah.
cans, old bottles,
old
little
Coca-Cola
pictures or whatever.
memorabilia.
Yeah,
It's really popular in
And
America.
I
It's part of American culture.
Yeah. I put one of my butt plugs like in one of her little bottles up there, and it was up there until we moved. And my mom would always move my butt plugs around if, like, say, my grandma came over to visit or family, things of that sort. So
your grandma was not privy to like your sex toys around the house?
I don't know if she was or wasn't. And I've been trying to talk to my mom about that. Like, dude, who gives a fuck? She's 85. She probably has like knowing her, she probably has like 10 years left on her, which is insane to me. But like, she's healthy.
She's great.
Yeah,
She's
she just kind of
such a
gets like
sweetheart.
little cancer moles removed here and there. But like,
Don't we all?
that's like everyone,
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I just want to like let it out. Like, look, grandma, here's my butt plug. You want to talk about it? But whenever I talk about that with like my family or my mom, like they're like, nah, how about you leave that out?
It's funny though, like the older you get, the more things you realize. Maybe I'm too private about this. Maybe I need to connect with people, or maybe I need to like bridge a gap, not necessarily like sexual stuff, but just like little things with your family members and your significant others, and like you kind of learn to be more comfortable with yourself. And that's why I think even people that you don't necessarily look up to, but people who are older, who just have a little more life experience, just seem so much more calm, cool, and collected, because they're like, I really don't care that I caught you masturbating. You know what I mean? Where it's like, we definitely all do it, and this is traumatizing you more than it's traumatizing me.
Yeah, I get that. And for me, like, I've never really had an issue like coming out
As gay.
that, or just like laying it on people when I meet them. Like, I usually have a little gauge. I think I might have talked about this with you before, but I kind of have a little gauge. Like, I don't just like say a bunch of weird shit to a new person that I meet.
Yeah,
I kind of hold off a little bit.
That's how I know you're healthy. Is you know the difference.
Yeah, and like,
Or
I'll
you're a
meet them, and if
complete
I think they're whack, I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm not gonna mess around with them. If they're like, all like, there's certain girls I've met like at work. If I like say like a big titty joke or something, or like talk about a girl's butthole or whatever, if they get all like pissy about it, or like I've mentioned like armpit hair before. And I had this fucking girl I used to work with a fucking shaved head and no eyebrows, saying like, "What's wrong with armpit hair, huh?" I'm
It's like, what?
I mean, nothing. But like, I'm just making a comment, and like, she just kind of went off on me like that.
You know she has
and I'm
armpit
like,
hair.
alrighty, dude. Like, I'm not gonna. Normally, I wouldn't fuck with people like that, but with her, I kind of enjoyed annoying her.
Was it her or was it they?
She's a her.
She's a her. She's not a they.
Well, I don't know. I never asked her. She's never told me that.
But you just called her and they, or her and she all the
she's
time?
a female. I don't know what she identifies as, but like, I never had that conversation with her because you never know these days, you know. But
I find that the most common thing is like when I'm unsure of someone's gender at first, it's just a really annoying chick.
yeah, she's was cool, and that's why I kind of fucked with her a little bit, because she would say annoying things like that to me, you know, like politically correct stuff, but she can also take it at the same time. Like, she would laugh at the dumb shit I would say, and she would also say stupid shit.
She
too.
wasn't just like blindly
like she
following
wasn't that annoying. Like,
she wasn't a fundamentalist.
Yeah, like, it's not like, you know, she was from Portland or anything stupid like that. So
she just looked like she was.
Yeah, and yeah, she seemed normal enough, and then one day she came home. She came to work with a shaved head, and she didn't put like makeup on, so she doesn't like have eyebrows. She's one of those girls that kind of like paints it on.
Yeah,
every day.
Those girls are wild.
And
just taking life as an ugly person.
And she had a good head for it.
For a shaved head?
Yeah, like,
okay.
It wasn't all, you know, wasn't like pear shaped or nothing. It was, you know, it's like, okay, cool. You can kind of rock that, I guess.
Well, I think women can shave their heads more often than men can, because there's men who have hair and you can see the like crinkles in the back of their head. I feel so bad for those people.
Oh yeah, like the Play-Doh fucking like melting.
Yeah,
thing,
it looks like there's like a spoiled orange on the back of their head,
or like another face. Yeah.
Or like creases. Like, I know I have a funny shaped head. I think it might be my sister threw a huge chunk of asphalt on my skull when I was a kid. It hit me right on the top of the head, and there's blood everywhere. But I have like a dent here.
Oh, so it chips.
It just feels like it's like a dent in like the middle of the top of my head, and I have a huge head too.
I have a small head, but
well, what were you saying? Armpit hair, girl. Came to
another coworker of mine, she's like this, you know, older Mexican lady.
Yeah.
So she's, you know, there's this disconnect with
like generation or
like
culture?
like just culture, communicating with people. Like, she says shit
you're like a young white guy.
Yeah, like, you know, there's just certain things you just don't say. And when the shaved head girl came to work, shaved head, no eyebrows or whatever, the Mexican lady goes up to her and she's like, "Oh my God, what happened to your face?" And like, I had to walk away for a second, because I'm just thinking like, dude, okay, so when shaved head girl starts swinging on this lady, I don't want to be tied into
accomplice,
the murder or anything.
Yeah.
And the shaved head chick
last
just
week he was talking shit about her armpit hair, and then this week,
yeah. And I'm like, lady, like, you just don't.
Esmeralda stabbed her.
You just don't really say shit like that. But, you know, it was super funny. I'm glad she did.
See, that's the thing though, is that's not true. You can say whatever you want.
True, if
there are
if you
consequences,
yeah.
But like there's also no rules in the first place. To me, like, you can't say things like that. She very well.
I'm saying that, you know, like, yeah, anyone can say whatever you want, but like, why I bring that up is, from her culture and her upbringing, she didn't know that she said anything rude at all. Like,
was she like Mexican, like born in Mexico, had an accent?
Yeah,
English was second
she has
language.
An accent.
So there was more of a cultural. Okay, I was just thinking it was just a California. I thought it was just a California girl. You know?
Oh yeah, no. Like, she's straight from. I don't even think she's straight from Mexico. I think she's from somewhere more down south.
Alabama.
Yeah, or Peru, or somewhere around those areas.
That's a whole other continent.
So yeah, she just didn't get that she said something super rude to this person, which I thought was funny.
So she probably said it. She's like, "What happened to your face?" And that's like, in her English words, like, that's how her mind translated it, because it's her second dialect,
which is a lot better than I could do in another language. I can't do that at all.
I love butchering Spanish. I know I butcher Spanish because I'll say something to my coworker who speaks really good Spanish, and he just hates me now.
That sucks. I always say like fucked up.
It doesn't really suck.
I always say or learn like fucked up things to say in Spanish, and typically like Hispanic people I work with tend to laugh. So
yeah, because like if there's like a Dutch person who came over and didn't really, well, I guess Dutch people speak great English, but say if there was like maybe like a Chinese person, someone who spoke just a wildly different language, and they came over and I just taught them to say like cunt and kike and like faggot and things like that, it would be absolutely hilarious.
Oh dude, I've like when I used to work at Yanagi's, there's a Chinese dude, and to hear him saying like shit or fuck or anything like that was super funny.
Was it like his accent made it funny?
Yeah, shit man, like he would talk like that, like it would just be. And he's one of those people from China, like straight was born in China, that he spits a lot. Like, have you ever hear that? Like, people from China, they spit a lot.
No.
I mean, older people.
Like, is it the way they talk?
Like they go like, and they'll do that like in public. Like they'll just do it like.
I used to do that as a kid. Remember when I was a kid, I used to spit a lot.
I mean, I think everyone does that. Oh yeah, I remember you did. Yeah, I remember you had a different spit technique than I did. Do you know how
through the teeth?
Yeah, you spit through the teeth.
That was when I had a gap in my tooth. That was before I got my tooth fixed and I got all hot. I used to not be this hot, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I remember fatty.
I thought, I'd fuck you back in the day.
That's very sweet. That's very nice.
Yeah, you were never obese or nothing. You're just kind of a...
Acknowledge that I was fat.
You're just kind of a sad boy and, kind of...
Was I sad? I don't remember being sad. I remember being grumpy.
You weren't sad boy. You were just super, I guess, like, I don't know, bitter. I remember we brought this up at, I think the first podcast, that like, yeah, when you were like younger, you just always kind of be like butthurt about stuff. Like, even when you like skated, like, oh, I can't do this hard trick, so I'm gonna snap my board, and my parents won't buy me a new board in 3 months. Like, you were kind of like, I don't know, just kind of like upset all the time, or something was up with you.
Yeah, I had a really tumultuous home life for a little while.
But
and I especially didn't.
But I loved you regardless.
And I loved you regardless. Yeah, and I really to kind of explain that a little detail, a little background is
you were molested.
That honestly, I probably
totally
would be
it.
more normal if I was molested, because those people like learn to like shut the fuck up, stay in line, and don't get molested again.
They tend to have their shit.
I'm sitting out here like putting my dick on Instagram, and
yeah, they tend to have their things pop out like later in life.
Yeah, mine was like pretty actively. So I had a very short
dick. Sorry.
and here, let me finish on your face. I had a very short-term household stability in my life, and it was actually during the time I met you. So, like, you knowing my family and us living like in a suburban home and like having like holidays and birthday parties, it was a very brief time in my life, and it's like what I pretty much my entire mentality is around like all my dreams. When I think of like homes, holidays, I think of that house in Napomo that I lived in, that you actually spent the night at once.
I spent the night at your house a few times. Okay,
well, regardless, let me finish here. Fucking, it was stable, but it was on shaky legs towards the end, and that's when we were friends. And alternatively, things were bad at school because of it. Not even just because of that, but because I was a very, not misguided, but like I had a very unfiltered childhood. No one prevented me from doing things. I never made a choice that got me hurt or on drugs or in trouble with the law, but I was very comfortable, and the faculty didn't like that at the school.
Yeah, when I think about that,
so I had a hard time at home, at school, and it would come out in little ways when I was with you because I could just let it out. You when I'm around my friends, and I particularly with skateboarding, because it was an outlet, it was a creative outlet. It was something I could do, and it was giving me all of this reward system that I didn't have or understand.
Also
before.
blowing off steam.
So it's like just part of it. I do regret ever breaking a single skateboard intentionally, because I think that was a huge error in judgment. You know, you give a kid something he didn't have to pay for, and then he sees like his friends skate videos and his heroes breaking boards that they get for free, and you don't really even concern yourself with.
You don't really think about that. Like,
and then I'm like,
these
fuck
pros can
so cool
break their board all they want.
Ironically, I stopped breaking my skateboards, but I got so heavy that I broke them organically skateboarding. So I couldn't keep up with my body's demand for skateboards.
Whenever I broke a board on accident, I felt so good about it. Yeah. Like, I felt like, yes, like I'm actually like kind of getting, because once you start breaking boards on accident, that means you're a fat fuck or
you're getting
kind of decent.
You're leveling up.
Yeah, which is strange to think about it. Like, you fucked up on a trick, you broke your board. Like, wow, that's a failure. Like, no, not really. Like, hey, like I'm actually, I don't know. Like, I was super stoked when I first broke a skateboard on accident.
Do you remember what it was? I remember mine. It's very embarrassing.
No, it might have been like trying to like hip flip like a little stair set, and you know how your front foot goes off and you land and you snap the center of your board.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I broke a board on flat. I was just trying to do a tray flip on flat ground, and I snapped my nose.
That's exactly
what
happened.
It was a Mike Mo Capaldi board. It was the Beavis and Butthead board.
Oh, that's a cool one. Mine was the Richie Jackson Death skateboards, the like psychedelic like peacock color one.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I broke it on Colby Bystrom's front porch. We were literally like saying, "Hey, do you want to go out and play a game of skate?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I immediately put my board down, do a tray flip, snap the nose.
Really? How old were you?
14. That wasn't the first time I broke a board. It was the first time I broke one on flat. First time I broke a board, I was maybe 12, 13, maybe around 13, 14. It was a foundation board.
Ooh.
I ollied over a sidewalk. And
over a sidewalk,
like just like the flat part, it was like this. It was like a vertical sidewalk, where one was going east west and the other one's going north south. And I ollied over the north south one across the east west, and I clipped the curb and I snapped the nose. And it was like, I can't even go down a curb without breaking stuff. So by the time I was trying to do tricks off loading docks, every single time I landed on my grip tape, I broke the board. So I never learned how to do tricks down gaps and stairs because the board broke immediately. So I literally developed a very bizarre way of skateboarding.
Yeah, how I started skating, or not really how I started skating, but when I was skateboarding, like the things that were fun to me were doing a long grind, or like maybe like a long board slide or something. Like those were the coolest.
Luke were so good at those. I'm sure you still are. I'm bummed it's raining outside because I would have loved to go skate with you somewhere, like, you know, like a little curb sesh or something. But
what you were saying, like doing anything downstairs or something like that, never really appealed to me. Like I would see my brother like jumping off. Like he was like that little kid who was like try to ollie off a roof and shit. And I would never. I remember. And he would skate the stairs. He'd kick flip the fucking big stairs and stuff. And I never really
doing stairs barefoot. That was so cool.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, I never really liked doing that stuff. I was like, man, like this shit hurts. It's not even that fun, you know. Half the time, like, and you know, I never really had that thing. Like when I'm jumping down shit, I'm just like, oh, like this is scary. I always bail, and I'm just like taking forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always kind of kept it on the, you know, kind of at sea level.
It was that.
You know?
It was honestly a lot of it was a pain for me because I was getting hurt doing like regulars, like flat ground stuff, or like really low to the ground stuff. So the big stuff, I was like, I don't think I can ever graduate to doing those things.
Yeah, I can see that. But for me, I never, like, I would always get hurt off of doing dumb shit as well. Like, you know, just kind of like little things.
I think that's how everyone really gets hurt. There's never someone like, oh, I was trying to nollie inward heel the Carlsbad Gap and I broke my ankle. It's like, oh,
there's a couple times when I was trying to do something that was like, you know, groundbreaking for me that I hurt myself on. But I would always, like, with me, I never busted my head open. I never broke my arm. I've never broken a bone skateboarding.
Yeah.
But I've always rolled my ankles.
Always rolled my ankles.
I have my mom's shitty bitch wrist. I have my mom's shitty fucking ankles, you know. Tiny ankles, tiny wrists. I don't know how. I've never broken my wrist before, but like my ankles would always go out. And it was never anything on, like we were saying, like anything gnarly. It was like
substantial.
I fucked up on a flat ground trick, or, you know, one thing that pops up, like I screwed up on like a feeble grind on this rail, and like the board like flipped under me, and I like landed primo, and it just like forced my ankle to
collapse.
Kink. So yeah, I actually have a video of that one. But yeah, it was never. No, like when I think about the stuff I really could have hurt myself on, like I never did. Like,
yeah, it's funny because there's a certain desire I have as an adult to go back and go do some of that stuff. Like I still in my head, I'm like, when am I gonna go do that double set, or when am I gonna go, you know, do like that bigger rail, or like in my head, it's still like something I want to achieve or a goal I want to meet, and like tricks I still want to do. What's the last trick you learned on a skateboard?
Well, to be honest with you, dude, like I think it's been like, dude, probably a year since I skateboarded.
Well, regardless, it was.
But before that,
I remember skating with you the last time I skated with you, and you were doing a Smith grind kickflip on the ledge at the wreck. You did it in less than 10 tries. And I was sitting there just like, this motherfucker skates once every other month, if that, and I can't even Smith grind.
Yeah, I mean, I was always able to do that, kind of. Like, I would, you know, I would only really take breaks if I, like, hurt myself or if I'm, like, working a lot or something. But and that always kind of pissed me off. Like, oh, I'm, like, working too much, you know, like, I only skate, like, a few times a week now, like, wah. But these days, I kind of like, man, dude, I don't even fucking skate anymore. Like, let's face it, like I don't even fucking skate anymore. But like, I want to, and I can't not look at like a fucking, like I can look at anything like in this room. Like,
oh, 100%. Like I'm looking at like this whole time I'm thinking of skateboarding, talking about it, not realizing I'm visualizing this wall being flat, and that gap over the lamp is a rail, like it's a gap over the lamp. Yeah, this thing, or like this closet,
not the closet, but like that
frame.
Little beam. Yeah, the frame. Yeah, just like
grind that.
Like, what if that was like sideways?
Yeah,
it's a perfect
100%.
ledge.
Yeah. Like
I think of that all the time in my when I'm in my therapist's office. Yeah, I always think of like, oh, dude, like his bookshelves are. Like, if that thing was cut in half, it'd be, like, super cool to skate, you know? Like, I just can't not look at anything.
I think about things in,
skating.
like, tech deck size stuff a lot, too.
Oh, yeah, like, what if I could shrink myself and, like...
Because, like, the edge of this beautiful African portrait you have is a long ledge. You know what I mean?
I sometimes forget I even have that
gap from the portrait to the little like 2 stair that is the top of the closet. Yeah, and it's like gap, crooked grind, or you know, gap, blunt slide. I don't know, just whatever. It's like
really I think all skaters
have that.
Think that even when I'm like driving on the side, when I'm even driving down the street, like I'm looking at a hill, like dude, like what if it was made out of concrete or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, like that. I always. So regardless if I'm not skating for a year or 10 years, like I'm always gonna have that. Like
that's how we.
I've been skateboarding long enough to like. That's not really gonna go away.
It's how we learn to interface with the world around us, like in a advanced way. Like the way we see it is completely different than someone who doesn't skateboard.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and that I'm sure there's people.
You know, I can't tell you how many times Kylie will say, "What are you thinking about right now?" Or like, "What's on your mind?" And I don't know how to answer her because I don't realize I'm just thinking about skateboarding. Like she asked me that recently when we were getting on the Teft exit, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know, literally nothing." But in my head, I just remembered I was looking at the guardrail and I was thinking that'd be really cool to like grind a guardrail
or like I've always wanted to grind a guardrail.
You know, and I'm just like, I was just thinking
like
of that because that's automatically where my mind goes to at base level.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and you know, with me, it's just not as I don't know, it's just not as accessible anymore. I mean, like, yeah, I can get off my ass right now and go to a skate park anytime, but like before, when the rec was still around, you know, it's right down the street from my house.
Yeah,
I don't have to really try. And even at my old house, like I had a bunch of flat bars, ramps,
stairs,
we had a little ledge that me and my brother made. So it's like I can step out my my backyard and skate whenever I wanted to. So it wasn't a thing, but like now it's kind of like, especially in my line of work, which is like restaurant industry, you know, I'm working on the weekends when most of my friends that have different kind of jobs are off on the weekends.
Yeah.
And I'm off, like, you know, earlier in the week, Mondays, Tuesdays, things like that. People are that's when their week just started. Like, oh, this is my Monday, this is my Tuesday. Like, I don't want to do shit, you know, like. So it's just I can go out and skate by myself. I used to do that shit all the time, but like I'm not really too motivated to skate a street spot by myself or something like that, you know?
I think I skate better by myself than I do around people, and that kind of sucks because I feel like the best version of myself isn't something that someone can witness.
Like in everything or just skating?
Maybe not in everything, but definitely skateboarding. I feel like there's no expectations, there's no pressure to perform, and then my creative juices just come out really organic. It's just, I just wanted to do a pivot kickflip.
I totally agree with that. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, like whenever I was by myself doing something, it was like strictly for me. Like I'm skating, I'm trying this trick for me. That's like whenever I would skate like outside by myself, you know, I would do like the gnarliest trick. Like, you know, no one's seen me do a crooked grind nollie flip out of a rail, but I've done that before at my house. Yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah, I do like my best things, I guess, by myself. But like, I always wish like, man, but if only someone was there to witness it, because, you know, I guess you want that like validation, or you want that high five, or you want that, yeah, look at me kind of thing.
It's the joy you had of the first time you did something cool in front of your friends as a kid. They were happy about it, you were happy about it, and you got this rush. It's a drug. It's a dragon you're chasing, and it's something that you're always, as skateboarding, it's like this constant. It's a drug addiction. Like, you know how people will sober up and they'll get clean, but they'll always consider themselves an addict?
Yeah.
Like, my dad, he went to AA. He's been sober 10, 11 years, but he's an alcoholic. That's just what people in AA say, you know, Dallas, I'm an alcoholic. You know, even though you've been sober for 10 years, it's like, you know, you identify that. Like in skateboarding, it's like, I'm a skateboarder. Mm-hmm. I haven't skated in a year, but I am a skateboarder, because I know that can always
that's like
come
in my
right back.
In my inner core, like it's a, lack of a better word, it's like a stain that you're not gonna get out.
It's a constant.
It's just like, it's there.
It's your identity.
It's but these days I'm starting to wrap my head around like, okay, like I'm not doing that, so what else is Kale gonna do with himself? You know, it's like, you know, what other hobbies can I be doing? And there's a lot of things I've been wanting to do. You know, I've always wanted to do some sort of martial arts training like you do, or like doing more like outdoorsy things, which I would always tell myself like, oh, I don't have enough time for that. I'm gonna go fucking work, and I'm gonna try to skate afterwards. Yeah. You know, those are the only things I did. But you know, and I'm not saying like, oh, I'm gonna quit skateboarding or nothing. Like I tell myself I'm gonna do it anytime now. And
I want you to quit skateboarding just long enough that I get better than you, so when you come back,
you're probably already there.
No, because I guarantee if we had a flat bar outside, I couldn't do 10 of the tricks you could do.
I don't even think I can do 10 tricks right now. But you know, that's all I want. I just want like a house with a big enough backyard where I can put a little flat bar or a mini ramp. I don't care if that's gonna take me till I'm fucking 40. Like I'm gonna have that one day.
It's really achievable, and a lot of people do it and have that in other parts of this country way easier than we're kind of doing it here.
Yeah, I mean it's super possible, but you know,
that is a goal too. I like, honestly, my ideal situation is to have a house with no neighbors.
Yeah, but isn't it kind of fun to annoy your neighbors?
I feel like I'm just the one who's annoyed by my neighbors.
Oh, so you're okay.
I'll have you know that I don't find my neighbors annoying right now where I live, but I also don't live on my own right now. So it's like, well, these people are annoying sometimes. That sucks. It's like I want like the people I want to live with or choose to live with to annoy me, not someone that, or where you're like in a situation like where I lived at my mom's and it was like, fuck, I just don't want you home right now, Mom, even though I fucking live here and it's really not up to me. Or it's like, oh, I really don't want to hear my neighbors right now. I was having like a nice peaceful day or like enjoying like my alone time, and now they're bitching about the Raiders game.
Yeah, for me, I kind of miss living in like my old pad where you knew your neighbors, they all lived there forever, and they would like say hi or whatever. You wave to them on the when you're driving or whatever, like then they would come over and interactions like that. I kind of miss that, like my old spot I used to work at or live at, and this one, like I never fucking talk to my neighbors.
Yeah,
ever.
No.
Like
and you live even closer to them. I think that's wise.
Like I can probably hear them fart in their living room.
Dude, I always wonder.
Like no one, they don't know. Well, over here, like no one even really leaves their house. I feel like I'm the one like leaving his house all the time. Like I have to go to. I never see any of these people like walk out into their car and leave. I see their car's gone, but like I never see them like leaving their house or get in their car. I feel like I'm kind of like the only one like walking around. Like
I do feel very often like I'm the only one that goes out and does things and tries to have fun.
Yeah, me too. But I know I don't. I'm doing what everyone else is doing, but I just feel like you just don't really see the neighbors like walking around. There are some like kids over here playing like up the street right here.
Yeah,
which is still cool to see because you don't really see that all the time. Like I remember, when we were younger,
dude, we were in everyone's fucking yard. We went to anyone's front yard, and it's like this is ours now.
I had fucking three quarter pipes at one time, a little stair set, boxes and rails and like all kinds of other miscellaneous things that we can just pick up and move. And we had everything I had in my house, but we're like, hey, you want to go around the block?
Yeah.
You want to skate around the block? You want to go on this dude's fucking driveway and get yelled at?
Oh, it's great. It's fucking great.
Yeah, like, that's what we were doing. And then we would skate in their driveway and they'd come out and we'd run away. Like, you don't really see that shit anymore. Well, at least I don't. At least not where I live. Like, there's no...
I'm sure once you have your house with your, like, flat bar mini ramp in the backyard, someone's going to be in your front yard and you're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Or, like, someone's going to fly their drone over you and you're like, are you shitting me? And you're going to have to shoot it down with, like, a shotgun. And that's going to be your version.
I've always kind of wanted to do that.
There's this place we're putting solar panels in for the last couple months. It's like a really long project, slow process, and it's on this rich dude's property. And this rich next door neighbor's mad about the solar panels being like so visible up on a hill. And it's like, where the fuck else are you going to put them? Where there's no sun, idiot? And he keeps flying his drone around. And I can't tell you how badly I want to just knock that thing out of the sky.
And what a douche. Like, I mean, I don't know.
There's two kinds of people who fly drones. People who make cool videos and put them on the internet, and douchebags. And sometimes they're not mutually exclusive. They're the same person.
Yeah, like I was thinking about that too. Like I was about to shit on people that have drones, but when I was thinking about it, like, well, I mean, no, that's pretty cool. If you're making a cool video, you're gonna see like the ocean or like see like cool, foresty
like
thing. Like
sweet, there's intro.
Yeah, it's all on a
filmed
fucking
with a drone. That's crazy.
Like it's actually really cool, but you know, if you're not really gonna, I don't know, if you're just trying to peep on, you know, the fucking teenagers getting undressed or some shit at the pool, or like, you know, you're going to the fucking, you know, let's fire a drone at the, I don't know, at the fucking spa, try to see old ladies' titties, or I don't know, you know.
Well, do you think those things are bad? That sounds great.
I mean, I guess so. Have you ever been with an older lady?
No, not much older.
No.
Yeah. Say like one who was on the opposite end of the 20s than I was. That's it.
Okay. So there's only been like what, like a 5-year gap?
Oh, if that, less probably. Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was fucking 20. When I was going through all my like sexual like debauchery, it was from when I was 22.
Are you still not?
No, I've actually mellowed down a lot. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But
well, talk to me. What are you talking about? You were going through all this.
From when I was 22 to about 23 was basically when, like, do what? Like, if you don't look like a, I don't even know, dude. Like, if you weren't fuck ugly, like, I would probably fuck you. Like, if I saw something about you that was like pleasing, like say you were fat. Oh, you tried to fart.
Nothing. It's gonna stink my
microphone up. Fucking and I have a fan on, like, pointing
blowing
at
that
us,
right
so it's
at
gonna
you
go
too.
right into my fucking mouth.
Good. It's where you deserve it.
I hope so. Fuck.
You
what
just
was I talking
fucked
about? Yeah. So
anyone
basically, like,
who's-
she could be a fat, you know, no nice boobs, no nice butt, but she has a cute face. Like, you know,
Is there anything
my dick would
worse
probably
than
look good in your mouth, or you know, like, oh, she has a, you know, I don't like her face and she has no butt, but look at those tits.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
or like,
So
no
it could
face,
just be
no
like a
tits, but
component.
dude, look at that ass. You know,
Yeah.
if you had something
Yeah.
going on, then
It was-
yeah, like,
it
I would
was
find
like,
a way
that's
in my,
redeemable.
I would find a way in my head to, like, make it okay.
I don't think it's that you would find a way in your head. I think that, like, people in their biological imperative to mate would just have that in their head of, like, I could look past their face. I'll stare at the back of their head while I'm fucking them. Or, you know, I could, you know, I don't have to worry about playing with their ass if she has some big old boobies. Also, is there anything worse than, like, a fat chick that has small tits?
You know, I've been listening to Opie and Anthony, like, I was actually, and
Hell yeah.
I'm, you know, I'm probably 10 years late on that train.
More than that, yeah.
But, dude, they, who said that shit? Oh, it's Jim Jeffries. He was on the show, and they're talking to Patrice O'Neal about fat chicks.
Yeah, I think I might have taken that from Patrice.
And they were looking, you know, at videos of fat chicks that, like, who Patrice would bang and, like, who was fat, who wasn't, blah blah blah. And Jim Jeffries was like, "There's nothing worse than a flat-chested fat chick."
Yeah,
and then Anthony was like, "Yeah, we call them flatsos."
Flatsos.
And do you know what, dude? Before you got here, I've listened to this thing. This is the third time I'm listening to it. It was basically when Anthony's, like, getting in a fight with this chick who's a trucker, like, over the phone.
Yeah.
Because she called him fat. And she's a fucking fat, like, she's like 300 pounds.
That's real fat.
Yeah,
that's,
so
like, justifiably
he was upset
fat.
that this fat chick was calling him fat. So
Yeah.
she calls up and he just is fucking like, "Hey, what's up, you fucking leather tits? Like, what's up, you fucking, you know, garbage fucking," you know, he was just, like, really being mean to this chick. And Jim Norton was on there,
and
he was, like, kind of sympathizing with the
trucker
fat
lady.
chick because he used to be fat, and he was kind of,
and he
like,
also he's getting fat now again. Now that he's older, it's funny.
Really, I mean, everyone does that. You know, full circle.
It's so funny though, because, like, I only knew Jim Norton as skinny Jim Norton.
You know, I never really knew anything about Jim Norton until I started listening to Opie and Anthony. Really?
Does he talk about fucking like trans prostitutes on there yet?
God damn it! I tried to fucking fart.
I know you just. It just looks like we're trying to vibrate our fucking assholes with these microphones.
Oh yeah, he's talked about fucking the trannies and stuff,
Yeah.
things like that. Which I'm like, oh dude, this, you know,
He's very
this
open.
is the kind of dude that I want to listen to.
Yeah, right. You're like, finally, someone who is worse than I am.
So Jim was
Jeffries or Norton?
Norton.
Norton.
he was asking this lady like, so how is this really hurting your feelings or something? And she's like, nah, I mean, I know I'm fat and blah 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 blah. And Anthony'd be like, yeah, you're disgusting. Like, you're fucking, and in the middle of the video, they're trying to get them to make up.
Yeah.
And they're like, Anthony, are you cool now? He's like, yeah, I guess I'm cool. And then she was like, Anthony, I'm sorry I said you had a beer gut and like a hollow or a bare chest or whatever, like bird chest. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry you're fat. Like, I don't, I'm super late. I'm so bummed. I'm late on the Opie and Anthony thing.
Well, it was just like we didn't have a way to listen to it when we were younger, because it's not like we had XM radio.
It's not like I had a car.
Yeah,
and I was never. I mean, we were in school whenever that shit was on. Like, we were in fucking school.
Exactly.
We missed it. But it's the coolest thing about the internet.
How fucking lucky are kids now? They can literally just listen to any fucking podcast or anything that was recorded
at any time that was
in an
ever,
AirPod at school. And dude, I would have done so much. I would have gone to school more if I was able to just listen to that shit, because by the time podcasts entered my life, I had been out of high school for a couple of years, and it just turned everything around for me. Podcast did. Someone asked me recently, like, why I have a podcast and like what made me start it, and I was like, it made me remember, like, oh yeah, it was the fact that podcast literally changed my fucking life, like turned me around from like a aimless, ambitionless loser to like someone who cared about things that I never cared about. Became more like competitive and like healthy and active and physical and just it made me strive for something better and like do more difficult things, and made me express myself intellectually, and also like find other people interesting and listen to them. And
personally, like, if we can go back to when when we were younger, like, like the Dallas, I remember then, like, would I ever think he would first of all have a mustache
Fuck.
and then wear boots and a Carhartt jacket, have a podcast, do jujitsu, like show his ass on like social media and balls and dick and shit. Like, he was kind of the last person I thought would do that kind of stuff, but like it's super super cool to see. And you're probably right, yeah, podcasts probably did change a lot about you, and I think it did a lot about me too. Like, I used to just my whole existence was basically just like, or not existence, but like what I viewed was basically skateboarding, pornography, and
can't even think of anything else, huh?
Yeah, dude, that's about it. And now it's like,
dude,
like,
it was skateboarding.
I'll watch
and porn.
the fucking Joe Rogan stuff. Your mom's house, but like but things like not even
comedy related.
Like, no, yeah, just basically, I like kind of like psychology things, like I can't think of anybody
Lex
else
Friedman,
right now.
Andrew Huberman are two good ones.
Fucking,
I used to listen to Bret Easton Ellis.
I forgot.
I loved his.
What the fuck is his name? Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah,
he uses two big words for me.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, every time I hear him talk, I hear a word I've never heard before.
Yeah,
that I
was like,
know
dude,
was
I
in
know
the
he's
English
saying some
language.
wild shit right now, but like,
I don't know what it means.
I'm too dumb to fucking pay attention to his thing, so I'll look at other stuff. But yeah, dude, it just really kind of broadens your.
And I found that was another
butthole.
person that I found through podcasts that really helped me find just a way to kind of optimize myself, kind of like turn Jordan Peterson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I love the way he talks too. He has a great speaking voice. He spoke at university for years. He was a professor.
Mm-hmm.
He really has a way with words, and he uses them, and they're very empowering and they're very motivating, and he breaks it down really well. And I think about it often, and I have little sayings of his or voices in his head, in my head, that he said that really carry me through some what otherwise would be like some brutal moments.
Mm-hmm. That was Alan Watts for me.
Alan Watts, okay.
When I first got kind of into that stuff, because I've had like anxiety issues for a big chunk of my life.
So I wasn't really aware of that.
Yeah, I would. If I think about it, I've always kind of had that. The first time I really had like an anxiety or some sort of panic kind of issue was in 6th grade, but that only lasted like 3 days. And then but then when I look back, like I was going through a lot of them. Like, you know, in high school, I did not like my health class in particular.
Did it make you feel unhealthy? Make you freak out about like
what you
were gonna become or am or are?
Like I can be honest, dude. Like I always thought there was something up. You know, I've been going to therapy for the last 7 years, regularly for the last 7 years of my life, because I was going through that stuff. Like I'd be in school, the fucking so the health class, I think in particular, it wasn't like what she was talking about. It was the fact that like it was half seniors, half freshmen, and I went there in my freshman. Basically, if you didn't take it freshman year, you had to take it your senior.
Yeah. So
half the class I didn't even fucking know. They're all like these older people, and it was the biggest class. And it's basically you're just sitting there. It's like a lecture class.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of work to do. It was just like you're sitting there, just listening to this bitch talk.
Yeah, and just consuming
Miss
it.
Long J. Or her name's Miss Long. I remember Matt Oliver called her Miss Long J before. I just like, you know, cracked up for some reason. But oh yeah, because me and Garrett used to say like, oh, are you shitting a J? Like we would look at her shit and like see if it made like letters or something, and J was the easiest thing to make.
That's so true. I made a J this morning.
Yeah. I remember at Garrett's old house, or at Garrett's parents' house, we were skating in his backyard and his dad was taking a shit or something, and Garrett was like, you know, there's a little bathroom window, and he's like, Dad, you pooping a J? He's like, oh, a lot of J's. But
a lot of J's. Oh man.
Yeah, so I was just like super, and that's I think when I was really developing my anxiety issues was in high school, freshman
I think
year.
that's where a lot of people, from what I understand, a lot of people discover anxiety in themselves during like those adolescent years. At my
stage, like I had no idea what it was. Like all my symptoms were like my mind racing, and I was like, it was always physical, because you know when you're having anxiety or whatever, it can affect your like stomach and your body. So I would always think like, you know, like I'm gonna like shit myself on the bus, or I'm gonna fucking like puke in class, or I'm gonna make myself like an idiot, or blah blah blah. So I'd always have this like anxiety about that stuff. So dude, like for real, like I would go to the nurse's office like all the fucking time, dude. Like I never told any of my friends about that. I always kind of like, and like even.
How did you manage like a panic attack when you were in high school, when you first started having them?
I never really had them before because I always avoided them. Like, so I did not go to health class. I went to health class 3 times. And I just told the counselor, like, look, dude, like, it's gotten to the point where, like, I'm not going in there. If you want to fucking cause a scene right now and force me to go in there, like, literally pick me up and force me and tie me down in that chair, like, it'll get to that point. And he's like, all right, well, how about this? During health class, you won't go in there, but I'll have her give you all of the paperwork.
Yeah.
So you just come in this office, in the principal's office, or like in that area, and you just do the work, and that's what you do. It's kind of like a what do you call it?
Independent study.
Yeah, it's almost like an independent study just for that one class. And I passed that class with a C+. Going in there 3 times.
That's really cool of them to make that consideration for you.
Oh yeah, if I look back at that, like
a lot of people.
But I think because I literally told them, like, look, dude, pick me up and make me go, because I'm not going to.
You're pretty light. I bet they could have done it.
Well, especially at that time.
Yeah.
I was the same height, but like 30 pounds lighter, if you can believe that. But yeah.
So kind of going back to when we were kids, when I would spend the night and we'd have breakfast in the
my
morning,
dick is like going inside of me. All right.
going inside you. I hate when that happens.
Well,
when
my
I'm
pants were like
exercising,
pushing it inside of my body.
when
So-
I'm exercising, my dick shrinks up real bad. When I'm skateboarding or in jiu-jitsu, like my dick shrinks up real bad, and it's really embarrassing because it's like, if someone were to like feel my dick right now, which people inevitably end up touching my dick in jiu-jitsu, it's not fucking flattering. It's like they're touching a big clit or something.
Yeah.
Thank God
I'm
I have
the
fucking
same, but
big
once
old behemoth
afterwards, after the workout or after I'm skating, once I finally relax, then it comes out of the shell a little bit. Because if you're doing something physical, I mean, like, your dick doesn't want to get squished.
It
You know what I mean?
protects
Like,
itself.
Yeah, you know,
It goes inside like a dog's, dude.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, you know, go in the doghouse, like, you know, don't get stepped on.
I will say, I always think my dick's smaller than it actually is. I'm always afraid, like, when I think of it and like I'm like being aware of it physically, I'm like, oh, it's just that little guy right there, and then I'll like look at it and I go, okay, it's a little more than the little guy, but still.
Dude, sometimes I'd be like, it'll be super cold in the room or whatever, and I have to go take a shit, and I'm looking at my fucking dick. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
You're like, bro,
what's going on with you?
back.
Like, dude,
Like,
and
what
I'll yank it, I'll stretch
I'll
it,
pull it.
I'll pull it.
There.
Like, dude, what the fuck you doing? Like, fucking, like, where are you going?
You're making me. I want to do that right now. You're making me nervous.
Yeah, I kind of want to do the same thing.
Make sure it's fucking.
But
this is the gayest podcast.
But then sometimes, like, you know, if the temperature's just right in the atmosphere, or like, you know, I'm doing just amount, I ate good,
That thing's
I'm
hitting
hydrated, and like, oh, look at you,
little trooper, man.
nice little 3.5 incher kind of cock there. Like, look at that, dude.
You're a
Look at that
shower
little-
almost, not
look at
just
that
a
little-
grower.
Look at that little chode. Like, look at you go.
Anyway,
But yeah, dude, fucking through all like, dude, high school, like, I never told anybody about my anxiety, and then I actually had to go to at the school. The Pomo High School had this, like, she was like a therapist or some shit, like a counselor.
Yeah.
And that was the first kind of counseling I've ever like had. And the thing was, like, I didn't understand what I was going through. I was just thinking I was either going crazy or I had some sort of like bodily issue with me. And then
Whoa, that's terrifying.
dude, I mean, I couldn't go to I really couldn't go to a lot of assemblies in high school.
Why?
Because it was
crowds
just
made you nervous?
The crowd. Not my issue was not being able to leave. Like, basically, you're sitting in the class. Like in classroom. Like, it's inappropriate to. Oh, okay. So if I can think of something.
Yeah.
So the first time I had like an issue like that, it was in health class. There was this chick. Her name was Jessica. And she was super cute. I had a fucking fat crush on her. It's like one of, you know how you either lust over somebody or you, like, there's girls that
like you
look,
think they're cute. You're not just trying to like, bone them.
Yeah, there's girls that you want to look at, like, oh, dude, I want to come so much in your mouth so it comes out your nose.
Yeah.
But then there's girls like, I want to marry you, have some kids.
Yeah, like they're really sweet.
And like,
There's
yeah, like,
sweet
you know,
about
like
them.
you like, I want to marry this person.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how
And
I
your soulmate's about finding that balance.
and
that balance
that's kind of
between
how
the
I
two.
felt about this person, even though I never really had a real conversation with her.
What do you remember her last name? I'm just
I
curious
do,
if I knew.
but I'm just not saying it.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's fine.
But
She probably appreciates it.
you know, that'd be the funniest thing ever if she listens to this fucking podcast. But I remember later on in life, like after high school, I think, or senior year or something, I like hit her up on Facebook.
Yeah, you hit her up on Facebook.
So he's handing me his phone right now. I'm gonna type up
The name so I can know it, so I don't have to wait till after, or I forget.
It's probably not how it's spelled, but
No,
you
that's
can
fine.
probably sound it out in your American language.
Oh yeah, I know that name. Not her name. I just recognize the name.
So I hit her up on Facebook, like, you know, see, like, ooh, like how she was, and she said hi, and like, how have you been? Like, who is this?
Oh,
And they're like,
ouch.
Oh, it's me from whatever from high school, and she's like,
I
I
sat
don't
behind
remember,
you.
I don't remember you, but it
Brutal.
it sucked because like I remember James was kind of talking to her
Yeah,
a little bit
LJ.
for me, yeah, and she she was just like starting to acknowledge my existence a little bit, and like I think even gone to the point to say like, hey, like she wants you to say hi to her or something, like, you know, like things were like, whoa. So one day in health class, I fucking it was in the middle. She was giving this stupid lecture, and she was right behind me, and no, I don't think that's. If she looks like that now, then I'm glad I didn't fucking. He just showed me a picture of this person it wasn't her. And like I said, if it was her, then I'm glad nothing happened with me and her. But so it was in health class, and she's like doing this lecture. The room is dark because she's having like the projector on. And like I started having a little panic attack thing, and I like, hey, I need to go. I like interrupted the class. And like it was just a big thing, and I had to like give her my phone. Like I just like interrupted the class, everyone's eyes on me, like, oh, okay, let's take a shit or something right now, like blah blah blah, like cool, like, you know. And I never went back to class after that. And after it was gone, I came back, told the teacher like, oh, I was sick, blah blah blah, and I, you know. But after that, I was just kind of like so embarrassed and just kind of so overwhelmed that I just never wanted to go back to that class. And then
that's funny, like, to me, that you would get embarrassed about it. Like that kind of, I guess, so I'm kind of very fortunate, not to like flex on everyone. I don't have issues with anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Like it never, I always heard, to me, anxiety was something the like fat annoying girl did. I'm not just picking on fat girls this podcast, sorry, but there was just someone I had in mind, but there would just be like it would be like something like the annoying,
I like fat chicks,
annoying girl would do for attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm like, anxiety, you don't even know what that is, you're just using an adult word because you think you're old enough.
People tend to do that now, but yeah, no one talked about that. And that's kind of why I'm kind of stoked on, if there's one cool thing about this new like era or generation that we're in, that people are talking about mental health more. Well, and it's not like stigmatized. It's not,
I think
no one really shits on it.
Something really unfortunate about this new generation is that anxiety is so,
my dick is just not
prevalent.
Fucking comfy right now.
It's that
there we go.
position you're sitting in. You just gotta
but this position I'm sitting in is comfy, but my dick is not having it. But it's fine right now. I moved it, but go on.
Anxiety seems to be so common now, and it's weird because now I feel like I'm the weird one because I don't get anxiety very often or about things. It's a very manageable. When I feel anxiety, I just remind myself that like your body's excited because it's just a response to this surrounding.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people
whether
just
it's like your old caveman DNA, your old like civilization DNA of like, this is how your body reacts when you are in front of a lot of people.
It's a fight or flight response.
Exactly.
So basically, your body doesn't know the difference between you getting chased by a lion or you thinking about getting chased by a lion. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't. But at that time, like, I had no clue what was going on with me until I actually went to a real psychologist, which I see to this day. Actually, I saw him when I was 15.
Wow.
16. One of those ages, and I stopped seeing him. But then once I started going through that shit again, once I stopped like doing drugs and stuff, like I was like, hey, we need to go hit up this dude again. But
so you have problems with anxiety like today?
Yeah, to this day, yeah. But there are a lot more. It doesn't.
What triggers it?
Well, it doesn't bother me as much today. I mean, I felt it a lot this last couple weeks because I haven't been drinking. But usually for me these days, it kind of just helps me be more social. I guess I have more like social anxiety than anything these days.
I told Kylie that yesterday. I told her, or the day before yesterday. I said, Kylie, I think I have social anxiety.
Yeah, and because sometimes you gotta, there can be a whole plethora of things or reasons why someone might have social anxiety. But that's usually why I would drink.
Same
Like
here.
I'm like,
same here.
like I can actually go talk to a girl that I like and try to get her in bed, but it's
Dude,
kind of like a double. It's a double-edged sword because like, cool, this alcohol is giving me the confidence and like the strength to talk to this chick, but now my dick's dead.
See,
I have whiskey
doesn't
dick with
happen
it.
when you first start drinking. As a kid, though.
But
so you don't even think about
that's
that
where
happening.
I'm at. That's like kind of where I'm at now at 27. But
Yeah.
when I first started kind of drinking like regularly, like 20, 22, 23. I was 23 when I was drinking regularly. But yeah, that shit didn't happen. It was like a perfect time. Like, cool. Like I have the confidence to fuck this old fat lady, and my dick is working. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I didn't know what was going on. Then I went to therapy and stuff, and it's like, yeah, you fucking anxiety stuff. So that's when I first was kind of aware of that thing. And then they put me on Zoloft, and then that kind of helped a little bit. And then
I think this is me coming from a place of like non-experience, but I think it's so crazy that they're just putting young adults and kids on drugs like that, pharmaceuticals like that. This is what I was going to bring up earlier. I'm sorry. I want to circle back here. I'm not trying to cut you off, but going back to when we were kids, when I used to spend the night and we'd have breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
You and Luke would always take these pills, and we'd take the gummy vitamins. But you two took these 2 pills. Was that for what were those? Were the ADD? ADHD?
My brother didn't take pills.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay. In my head, it was always the both.
That was for ADD.
What was that? Ritalin? Adderall, Vyvanse.
It was one of those things. I think I took Ritalin or Adderall when I was. Oh no, it was Ritalin when I was younger, and then in middle school they switched me to another one, which is the one that you were talking about last night, the Stratera or whatever. Yeah, it's some kind of brand like that. But yeah, ever since from first grade to 8th grade, I was taking like ADD medications and stuff. So yeah, I would take one in the morning, and then in the middle of the day at school, I'd have to go to the office
to get your drugs. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, fucking an old Kale had to go to the office and take his meth real quick. And I remember one time.
Crazy.
I remember one time.
You're like a kid, and they're giving you pharmaceutical meth.
Pretty much, yeah, because he doesn't want to sit still in class. That's kind of how I was one of those kids who was like misdiagnosed. The one of many, I'm sure. But
and see, I my brother was diagnosed with it when we were really young, and my mom said no, he's not going on medication. He doesn't need that. So when I showed signs of what he was like, my mom was like, I'm not even gonna bother, like, telling anyone. But I think that it might have honestly really done some good in our lives, or it might not have. I really don't know.
Wait, what would have?
If we had been medicated, or that was caught on early, because I had an extraordinarily difficult time with school from ages like 10 on. And I was not unintelligent. I did terrific on state tests. I did terrific in any test regarding my citizenship and my engagement in class, and my understanding of concepts were always very on point or advanced wherever I was in school. But I couldn't focus. I couldn't do homework. I couldn't organize myself. I couldn't stay on task. I couldn't do anything that required like my attention for more than a few minutes. I never got a project done. I never did an essay.
Sit down still and do this annoying paperwork.
That's why I think I literally could have gone and done even better on the tests, but I wanted to do them, get them done so quickly. So I like burned through them so quickly, and I did really well. So I always wondered later on, like, if I would have been able to sit down and read each question, and they always say like, take your time, it's time, like it's not timed, like just do finish when you're ready. Because there were some fucking morons that took all day to do those state tests, those STAR tests or whatever, and they still didn't do well.
Yeah, and I suppose I was one of those.
One of the first people done, always.
No, I'm usually the ones who are probably one of the, to this day, like, because when I said earlier, like, misdiagnosed, like, I think I do have some ADD or something else.
We were the ADD crew in 7th and 8th.
Fucking
like, that
Garrett
was,
and Dane was the same
Garrett,
shit.
Dane, Kale,
yeah, like, we were
Matt.
we all took our fucking pills, yeah.
Yeah, it's all,
and,
that, like, I know I'm missing a few, but.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I mean, did they help me? I don't know. I didn't. Regardless of if I was on pills or not, if I didn't like the teacher, I didn't fucking do well in the class.
Exactly. Same here.
So I don't think it was so much of me not being able to learn. It was just teachers didn't know how to teach, you know, or like some people's way or way of teaching was, just didn't sit well with me or something. Or like if it was like a personal thing, like Miss Baker,
yeah,
she would always give me shit. Like I think she honestly had a personal thing against me because like,
and there's no way
every grade
she's
before
human just like us.
Yeah, and like
she's had to have had something biased against us.
Yeah, like we're like long hair, fucking. Skater,
Sharpie
fucking,
marker all over our shit.
Sharpie markers all over her fingernails, fucking,
See,
skateboard, just kind of.
I always smelled like cigarettes.
Yeah,
my parents smoked in the house.
Parents, yeah.
I didn't realize this, but this was a big problem apparently. Like I was told about this years later, that they always thought that I was smoking. That I was a kid who smoked, and they always thought I was a bad kid who smoked and did drugs. And I didn't realize because I
was just my mom doing my laundry, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I didn't even dawn on me that like every single thing I owned smelled like cigarettes because I lived in a household where everyone living there smokes cigarettes.
Your sister had a lighter,
a dildo lighter. I knew you were going to bring it up.
Dick.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and I remember I was like, what?
You've brought this up on every podcast.
Really?
Really?
Well,
it was a pivotal moment for you.
Our podcasts are pretty gapped.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm really not worried about it. I'm just letting you know that this is a confirmed story.
I'm going to repeat myself multiple times.
Do it. So there's someone who hasn't heard it yet. I want to hear it.
So yeah, it was the coolest thing. I remember she asked if I was gay.
My sister?
Yeah. If I didn't bring that up last time, she asked like, "What are you, gay?" Because I kept on wanting to touch it or like look at it, and make it vibrate. Like, whoa. And she was taking me, wait, hold on. And I was like, what are you, gay? I'm like, no. I was like, oh, yeah, well, people like to see it fucking vibrate or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gay. It's a dick fucking lighter. Like, what? I'm not going to, like, fucking whatever. But,
she was young, just like us.
But, what do you call it? Yeah, I did well in all the other classes, like in Miss Ferris's class in fifth grade. She was hot. I had like
the blonde one.
I had fantasies about her, and at that time, I didn't really know anything about.
I didn't realize that I found her attractive until you said that right now, and then I remembered who she was.
I feel like my dad was even like, dude, she's fucking hot. And she was, man. Like, and she liked me and Matt Oliver.
Miss Baker wasn't the ugliest thing in the world. Even she was just a bitch.
Do you know what? She actually reminds me of.
I feel like she had some big old titties.
She reminds me of my friend's mom that we met last night.
Oh yeah,
the one that was like, yeah, that's who she reminds me of.
She does kind of remind me of her.
But yeah, dude, Miss Ferris. Oh my god, I remember she really liked me and Matt because we were the skater kids, long hair, tight pants, and listen to Green Day or whatever the fuck. And she would always kind of like me and Matt, and I remember I would have these fucking fantasies, and at 5th grade, I didn't really understand the dick and pussy thing.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
I didn't. I was just like, I was always just fantasized with like tits or something, and
I don't think it was until 7th grade that I fully understood like where the dick is going.
Oh, dude, middle school was like,
I used to have
full
this
on.
I saw this. We were talking about porn last night, and it made me think about this video clip I saw like somewhere. Like on some website, and it was a dude fucking a chick and a chick pegging her in the ass. So she was getting like DP'd by a dude and a chick.
Oh.
And that used to be my like number one fantasy in fucking elementary school.
Fuck a girl with another girl?
Yeah, like to like DP like one with a strap on and me like And that was like a real fantasy I had, like in 7th and 8th grade.
Gnarly. See, that's so
It was so
interesting
weird.
about
like, oh,
porn.
that's
Like,
real. I would have never thought of that without porn.
because there's some weird things, like even weirder shit than that. And that's not even, I mean, I guess that's kind of weird, at least for a 13, 12-year-old to be
no, seriously.
thinking about and like fantasizing about. But like,
there's
you know,
no 12 or 13-year-old girls that were thinking about getting double penetrated.
no, they were thinking about getting flowers and having like sex on a sunset
And
on a
getting
horse
their
or something.
driver's license. And first
Yeah,
jobs.
you know.
Girls were such fucking nerds, dude. I literally, for some reason, I feel like every girl that I was around were just such dorks about everything. And it just
Not all of them.
It just bummed me out. Well, not all of them, but it
In 7th grade, bless all those angels that let me suck on their tits
in 7th
in
grade.
7th grade and like
It was
fucking,
beautiful.
you know, wanted to blow me and I was too scared to let them. You know, like
so
all that shit.
funny.
Like I
didn't get blown till in 10th grade.
dude.
And you're sitting
bless,
there like,
bless all those sweethearts that are probably. I hope they're they're in a good place now.
probably traumatize them for life.
I actually know where a few of them are right now, and it's not good. But I wish them the best.
You gave them bad luck. You sucked the fucking innocence out of their titties.
Who knows? Maybe if I would have let them blow me, I would have.
They would have been
I
better
would
off
have changed
because
their life for the best. I
They
don't
would have
know.
known this isn't for me, and they would have sharpened up.
But with Miss Ferris, like my first, when I would think about me and her like banging, like I thought I just would think about me and her naked, like on top of each other,
Yeah.
like breathing heavy.
Yeah,
Like I didn't really
that
know.
Used to.
I didn't like
was
think
my
like, oh,
only-
you put your dick, put the lime in the coconut. No, you put the fucking, you put the dick in the vagina. You go back and forth, and then you have a good old fucking barnyard fun. But like,
I know how it works.
I wasn't at that age. I wasn't aware of that. I remember in 6th grade, there was a love note that this girl wrote me.
Ooh, who was it?
She's more local. You can give me your phone later. But she wrote this love note, and it got confiscated. Yeah, confiscated. Fucking retard.
You're doing great. You did good on those tests.
Yes. Yes, her.
First guess. Hell yeah.
Yes. So she
Old
wrote this. She
tissues.
wrote this note, and it got taken by one of the teachers.
Yeah.
And it said something about, you know, like, oh, I love you, whatever. Like, I want to kiss you everywhere, even your penis, and like shit like that. And at that point, I'm like, what? You know, like I didn't watch porn at that time because the first time I watched porn, like I've said on the other podcast, I was fucking 13. Was the first time I like. Well, actually, no, not the first time I like watched porn like on the computer because the psycho neighbors I was talking about, we would steal their magazines, and every time that they would want to like look at the dude, I was always like, dude, look at those tits. Like, no, man, look at this pussy. Like, ew.
They're like leveling you up.
Yeah, I was like, they
up.
were on a different level. They were like more like aware than I was. I was like, ew, like, what's that fucking furry thing? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to look at that.
You're like, my mom has one of those. No thanks.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm cool. But yeah, it wasn't until like, wasn't until, yeah,
13. Huh?
13. Oh my god, I love 7th grade, dude. I had so much game that would get me arrested now, but at that time, you know, was kind of maybe it's just because I wasn't ugly. And
You were
like,
pretty ugly.
in
I think girls were
in
just
7th
like-
grade. No, I had plenty of. I didn't start getting ugly till 8th grade. 7th grade was at like my peak of like, you know.
Sexy skater
I had
boy, long hair.
I had a handful of prospects for sure.
Who was that girl you dated? Elnara? No.
No,
Orlando.
Yeah, she looked just like me. Fucking, we're fucking pale as shit.
Yeah,
fucking
you're
like
the
the same
pale black hair.
the same length black hair that we both straighted. My
Tall,
my
skinny.
pants. That was before I was tall though. I didn't start getting tall till 8th grade summer. I have a pic. There's a picture. There's like a family picture. I was in 7th grade, and I'm shorter than my mom. I'm like 5'6".
Yeah, that's
Like I'm like, you know.
I was shorter than my mom till 7th grade.
But I didn't, you know, I basically had a huge growth spurt like at freshman year, and then
yeah.
but just no meat or muscle came with that growth spurt at all. It was just all just like my bones grew, but my nothing else did.
See, that sucks because I have the other side of the coin where I had a growth spurt, but I was like,
so you got less fat as you grew.
I got less fat, but everyone was like, "Oh wow, you're like slimming out and you got
like,
taller."
no,
and it's like, I'm pretty sure I just feel fat everywhere now instead of just my stomach. So yeah,
you're fat. Like,
I'm not fat now, thankfully. It's really nice.
I'm
wearing a baggy shirt. If you don't believe me, I'll take my shirt off.
It dispersed, evenly throughout your body. You look nice.
I've been fucking leaving my shirt off.
No way, dude. Like I had fucking, I had people knocking at the door in 7th grade for sure.
That's hilarious.
But I just, never did nothing with it because I'm looking at porn with these dudes with fucking 47 inches dicks, and I'm just like, fuck, like I'm looking at my dick like, what the fuck is that shit? And it started this like little complex. Dude, I could have got a blowjob from this chick right off the bus. It was after fucking not Sunday school. Fucking, I wish.
Kinky.
What do you call it?
Saturday detention? Saturday school?
No.
Friday? Just
after school's tutoring.
Oh.
A couple days a week I had to stay after school, and then the bus would take us home.
Yeah.
And there was this girl that wanted to blow me so bad, but I'm like,
she wanted to blow you in 7th grade?
Yes.
She
did. She would just like say like, I want dick in my mouth. So it's not. I wasn't her first or nothing. Like she's been doing this for a minute since
you
maybe
probably,
even kindergarten.
Saved yourself from getting like early herpes.
Well, dude, I pushed so much vagina away. So much, even during high school, and like, but mostly in 7th grade. Like, I know a couple friends of mine that were getting laid, and there was a very few of them. I remember Matt Diaz. He got laid in 7th grade. Same with like Johnny Summers and like maybe and Evan Manane. He was getting his dick sucked on the bus, and I was like watching it. Like that was gnarly to watch. But I was like on my level. I'm like, dude, show me your tits, or like let me suck your tits and things like that.
You were like classic.
I sucked tits before I kissed a girl.
I know.
It's like, so I was on that level, and then here these guys are like getting their dick sucked and shit. But yeah. But you brought up a good point. Like, who knows, man? Like, I probably would have had a kid or two by now if I had really like let loose or gotten herpes or just gotten into like shitty toxic relationships or something. Probably would have turned into an asshole. You don't know.
Yeah, I've been in shitty toxic relationships and had pregnancy scares, and fucking that shit sucks. It's so stupid. And it's just like,
I've only been in like 3.
It's like the only thing I cared about for a long time was just like, I can't do anything that's going to jeopardize the amount of pussy I'm going to get or jeopardize the amount of times I can fuck this girl. So like, I like specifically would not hang out with friends. I wouldn't do hobbies. I wouldn't do things. I wouldn't connect with my family. I wouldn't have memories because I was more concerned about
maintaining
that sexual activity.
Like, yeah.
Than actually,
or probably not even like sexual, like probably like emotional, like
and
stuff
that was a big
well.
part of it. But in my head, and when I look back, I just think like, was I really just getting laid and enjoyed it? And it, yeah.
Like would I have had more fun hanging out with my friends than to have sex with this person again?
Yeah. And
just sit there and like after like all that shit's gone, now you're just kind of bored and you're like with this person that's just kind of like I wish I wonder if they're still out. I wonder if the boys are still out doing something, I've done that.
And now,
even to this day.
Now all I want to do is go have fun with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like that's like, I almost want to make up for lost experiences.
So if we can bring that up, that would be a perfect segue. Yeah. When do you think I lost my virginity?
Late. I know this.
So I already told you this.
Yeah, you lost it kind of late.
But did I mention this on the podcast ever?
I think so. But I don't even remember.
I don't think I did.
I doubt anyone listening remembers.
Yeah, no. Okay, there's no way. I've told only like a hand. So the first person I told this to was Matt.
Yeah.
And I was drunk, and that's what actually started my alcoholism. because I was like, I had such a good time drinking for the first time. Because before, when I stopped smoking weed, I stopped doing the pills and all that stuff, I would kind of dabble with alcohol. Because when I turned 21, I'm like, oh, that's what you do. You buy a beer, right?
Yeah.
I'm like drinking like shitty malt liquor, like oh, Mickey's are a thing. Let's go buy a tall can of Mickey's. And I'm trying so hard to. I usually would even finish the beer. I hated it so much. Like I'm like sipping this thing, but it's like I felt like this is
finishing beer a lot when I first started drinking.
Oh my god, dude!
And
like,
I think that's how
worst.
I drank for so long and didn't throw up. Is I wasn't actually finishing a lot of the drinks because they were so gross.
I was able to finish.
Enough.
I was able to drink and finish beer when I was smoking weed.
I didn't smoke weed till I was like 23.
Yeah, you were on the you weren't about that one. Same with Dane, but
which is hilarious because every time I saw him, he was reaching for a bong in the last 2 years. Yeah,
that's a funny thing with Dane. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I was able to drink when I was smoking weed and like doing other things, which were only like pills and occasional shrooms and mostly weed. I wasn't like doing meth or doing any stupid shit. But yeah, once I quit doing drugs and doing weed and stuff, I hated alcohol by itself. I hated it. That's when I was 21. Like I wasn't doing anything at that time. I'm just like sipping on this Mickey's, this tall boy of Pabst or some shit.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even finish it. I never even got like a buzz because I never really finished. It took me 2 hours to finish the fucking.
By that your whole body processed the alcohol.
Yeah, like I already pissed
you.
half of it out before I finished the thing.
That's funny.
So, but it wasn't until Matt was at my house. My brother comes home from the Paso Fair or whatever, and he comes home with a bottle of 1800 tequila.
Yeah,
if that's even the name of the fucking.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He had it in the freezer.
Whoa.
He came home the day before and he put it in the freezer, and I started taking shots, and since it was in the freezer, it was super smooth, and I just had this fucking.
That's good shit.
I had this, I was super drunk. I had a great fucking time. I'm laying on the kitchen floor, and Matt's right there. I'm having a good old time, and I told him like when I lost my virginity because I was super. Because when you're a dude, it's like a big part of your identity, like being able to get pussy or having it.
Yeah.
Like that's like, if you don't if you're not able to, or if you don't have it, it's like you're a bitch, or you suck, you're a nerd, you're this, that. So it's like a big part of a man's deal, I guess.
Yeah.
So I told him when I actually lost my virginity, because I never told anybody about it, and I was 22.
22. Wow.
When I lost my virginity, yeah.
Damn. That's
which is like
late. That's a late bloomer. I mean, I know some people who are still virgins. And
was I 22? Yeah. I was 22 years old, and the reason I don't really know. I just like pushed it away. I didn't really have the confidence, or there were certain times when I could have. I mean, there's a lot of times, but I just kind of like. In my head, I was like, oh, it has to be with like a special person, or at least a hot chick. Like, I don't want the first person I bang to be some fucking ape of a person. But
I wish
like,
I had more standards than you.
Yeah, and I kind of had these like imaginary standards, and then plus I was in a relationship for 2 years outside of high school or almost 2 years that we never had sex.
I don't even know how you have a relationship as a teenager without fucking.
Well. I started dating this person when I was senior year.
Yeah.
Till about I was almost 20.
Yeah.
And we had never had sex. So
she like blow you and stuff?
No.
Really?
She would even let me go down on her, which was annoying.
You ever finger her? Did you get hand jobs with any of that shit?
Yeah, like she gave me a hand job. I fingered her, and fucking this is really embarrassing, but she used to let me dry hump her. So I can wear clothes and like hump her.
Yeah.
Which, hey, if that's what I can get, I can get it. And sometimes she'd let me dry hump her like in underwear.
Oh, that's hot. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's super
a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically getting your pre-cum sticking to her then.
Yeah, dude, that shit was annoying. But so that's what I was doing. So that prolonged. So now I'm 20.
Yeah.
Right out of this relationship, and that's actually around the time when I started developing these like anxiety things. So I could even like really hang out with my fucking friends, let alone fucking talk to a fucking female.
Yeah.
Like I was just like so fucked off in my head that like, no way, man. I'm trying not to lose my mind here. Like I'm gonna talk to a girl. Like no way. So that just wasn't my priority at that time. So 20 through 21, I'm just trying to, not lose my mind. I started going to therapy again. I stopped, like I said, I stopped, smoking weed. I had like a mushroom trip that basically like after that, every time I smoked weed, I would just have a gnarly panic attack.
Yeah.
And
that sounds very familiar in people.
So I stopped smoking weed, but I had a bunch of unresolved, daddy issues and things of that sort, and just anxiety in general that I always kept away, that I was gradually like seeing throughout my life, and that all just like hit me at like 20, and I'm like, what the fuck? So, so I was just busy dealing with that for a good year. Didn't talk to the boys really, didn't. I talked to some people, and I was gradually trying to talk to girls again, but that never really worked out. So just just kind of like a emotional wreck for like a good like year and a half of my life. I was taking other meds. I would go to the hospital sometimes because I'd have gnarly panic attacks. They would give me
Xanax or something.
It was like Xanax. What do you call it? Whatever it was like a smaller version of, just another kind of Xanax, and they would give me those, and I would just sit in my room and just try not to go insane, because I just was not understanding what was going on. Because when I would experience anxiety, like when I was younger, it would happen for a little bit, but then it would go away for like a little while. It would come back a little bit, and then it would go away. Like when I in high school, like when I was talking about the whole health class and shit, I stopped having anxiety like after that. Sophomore year a little bit, but then junior, senior.
Do you think there was something that was helping
I was smoking
you?
a fuck ton of weed.
That was helping your anxiety?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
I was smoking a fuck ton of weed, and that's what I told my mom. Like, dude, I smoke weed now. Yeah. And you're gonna deal with it. Just like how I told the teachers at school, like, hey, I'm not going to this class. You're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to drag me.
So yeah. So basically, she started letting me smoke weed. My dad.
What did your dad think about that?
He was fucking. That was me and him. That our relationship declined a lot. Gradually when I was 12, and then high school, I didn't really want anything to do with him for a while.
Why is that? You guys just didn't see eye to eye?
He just had this he had this like route that he wanted his boys to do.
He's like very old school, disciplined, like very strict.
He was really.
Your dad is one of the strictest people.
He was military kind of figure.
Yeah.
Even though he was like, he was in the military for like 2.5 years or some shit.
But like that was just like he like. Banked his personality on that
he was
style.
Brought up because like on my mom's side and even my dad's side, just like military.
Wow.
They were just brought up that way. So he was just
you're really, like huge black sheeps to that.
Oh yeah, like fucking and just me. The second I told him I didn't want to play basketball anymore, like he kind of held that against me.
And I think I don't remember when you stopped playing basketball, but I remember not being a good influence on it either.
I mean,
I felt like
the friends I was having, or that I was making, like say you, Matt Oliver, Garrett, and them, like they didn't. I mean, they had played sports when you're younger.
I never
like,
played a single sport.
They never.
I just talked shit about jocks, and I was like, "That's stupid. Why would you do sports when we could be skateboarding and looking at boobies?"
Yeah. So I was already kind of going that route, and really, like, I never really cared or really liked the kids I played sports with anyway. Like I remember, it's not like I didn't like them, but you know, when we would hang out, I always just kind of felt like, I don't really vibe with these
Weird.
dudes.
There's like a disconnection.
Like, yeah, we play sports, but like I can't really relate to them on any other.
Talk to you about girls' buttholes.
Yeah,
right now.
like I always kind of felt like out of the conversation, or like I was not like.
I felt that.
I was not like. Whatever they were talking about, whatever they're into, like
Just,
I would
you weren't
try to. I
connecting
would
with?
try to get into it because you know you're trying to make friends and shit.
Yeah.
But like, I just was not into really anything they were talking about, and I couldn't. You know, I was like, what the fuck? And then I met you. Matt Diaz, and then Matt Oliver. You know, we liked skating. I wasn't even skating at that point when I knew you in third grade, but like,
Yeah.
I don't really know what really drew you to me, or what drew you, or what drawn me to you, or whatever.
My huge dick.
But it was just kind of like just different. Like I think it's like you cursed or something. Or you,
I
like,
definitely cussed.
yeah, and I was like, this guy, like
there
this
was
guy,
no
this guy
regulation.
curses. Like,
Yeah.
this dude fucking like, this guy looks all kind of grimy and like,
I was white trash.
yeah,
Poor-
and
was a
like me
poor
and my
kid.
brother, like, yeah, we're grimy. We like to fucking dig holes and fucking throw dirt
They
claws
weren't.
at each other.
You were
and,
not
like,
real
hit
grimy. You lived in a very nice
Well, we weren't-
house in a very nice neighborhood.
Well, I'm saying, okay, we weren't poor.
I know,
But,
but I was real. I was real grimy.
Yeah,
you were new grimy.
You're the real deal. I just wanted to be there.
Oh, that's
suppose.
beautiful. Thank you.
But yeah, I couldn't relate to these guys, and I was relating more to, you know, these people who liked skateboarding and loud music and wearing black.
yeah,
So that's, you know, that's the route I was going. And then, yeah. So, yeah, then my dad kind of held that against me for a while, or, you know, so yeah,
Mine
we just,
too.
we didn't get along. So the whole smoking pot thing, it didn't matter. My mom told me one time, like, that my dad said, oh, I'm going to call the cops on him or something. Or get the cops to come and, like, get all the pot out of this house. And my mom told me, like, if you do that, I will leave you.
Yeah,
or, like,
that's
she gave him, like, a...
ultimatum.
Yeah, she pretty much did, like, if you do that, I'm like, she kind of lit a fire under his ass or something. And he's like, oh, okay. So he never did that. So I just started smoking pot. My brother, like, you know, he stayed doing sports.
I know.
Even though he still skateboarded and stuff, but he was more,
I'm so
focused on sports
impressed.
and, like,
I can't
school.
believe he stayed with sports so long.
Yeah. And
He can
and it was
sculpt.
also cool because he can still fucking skate very good.
Yeah.
So
No
that
surprise
never left.
Well, I mean, when you're an athlete, like those muscles and that kind of like athleticism
Mm-hmm.
and being able to do that, it's no surprise to me.
Yeah.
That, like, the more physical I became, the better I was getting at skateboarding, and the
Mm-hmm.
more like active he's been his whole life. I'm totally no surprise whatsoever that he could still rip. You know.
Yeah. But I don't want to get off track too much. So basically, yeah, smoking pot, did all that, stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to handle my emotions not doing those things.
Mm.
So I'm just like a wreck for like almost 2 years of my life, right? So like I finally got out of it through certain friends that I opened up to. I think Dylan was the first one that I really opened up to about, and he was like really cool.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those things like, oh, my friends won't hate me, or my friends won't not like me anymore because I'm this way.
Yeah.
So that's why I always kind of kept it away from them, because like, oh, like I don't want them to not like me anymore because I'm like this like nervous fucking pile.
Yeah.
So I kind of always avoided them, you know, if they've ever wondered why I never came around.
Huh.
But so that's kind of what I was going through, and then. So yeah, I'm busy, all that stuff. So I'm not getting laid.
Yeah.
So that's where that was. That's where that came from. But then one time I was just hanging out with this chick, and who was not very attractive. Had hands bigger than my dad's. Fucking you know, I call her the linebacker. You know, I remember I went over to her house because I would, you know, I was trying to talk to girls, but I was too much of a bitch to really like go out and bang them or whatever. But this, you know, I was talking to this broad, and this female,
That's
that had
worse.
giant
That's worse.
that
Just call her a
had
bra.
giant this giant hands. I remember I went over to her fucking house in Santa Maria. It was dark out,
Smelled funny, I'm sure.
and I don't remember if she smelled bad or not.
No, like
but
the house smelled funny.
it was dirty.
Yeah, it smells
But well, the
funny.
thing is, like, so I had to crawl in her window, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't wherever she was staying, like, was not cool with a guy being over or something. So I had to crawl in her window. We watched some movie. It's that movie when these like four people that don't know each other but they pretend to be a family and then they go to Mexico and get drugs or some shit.
I just watched this movie
It's an RV
with Kylie. It's
they're in an RV.
The
They go-
Millers.
Is it the Millers?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a family that don't know each other but they
We're the
pretend-
Millers. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. So we
Jennifer
were watching
Aniston's
that
in it.
movie, and I noticed like how big her hands were. Like she went over there to like put something in the DVD player. She was just this huge. Her hand was
Just
like
these
as
big
big as the
wolf
fucking
man.
half the TV, and she's just like this giant person with a ponytail. And I was like, God damn, dude.
My
She-
God.
and so we're watching. Dude, I don't. Okay, I know. I remember her first name, but I don't remember her last name.
Anyway, so you're watching We're the Millers, which holds up. Is a really funny movie. It's not even a 10-year-old movie, and it fucking has shit in it that
How do you spell? Fuck. I shouldn't even say his name.
It has shit in the movie that you cannot do in movies today, even, and it's so fucked and so funny, and it's so weird that I thought
I probably spelled his name wrong.
oh yeah, I have no idea who that is.
You don't know
but-
the dude's name either?
No, I know him, but I don't know her.
Yeah.
Um,
But
oh wait, I think I know who you're talking about.
It's probably good that you don't. So yeah, we're watching this movie, and then she just starts making out with me,
Wow.
and then just like one of those awkward like we're kind of talking, we're bored, and you're just like you just go for it,
Yeah.
which is kind of the right thing to do. You don't
Yeah.
ever ask her like you want to make out, like it's kind of whack. So we start making out, and then she's like, "You want to fuck?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do," or
Yeah, I
sure.
do.
And then just is the classic, just like flicked her around a little bit, and then I've watched so much porn, I kind of knew what to do.
Yeah, that's exactly the same.
So
like
it was kind of and I banged her like a champ, and she enjoyed herself. I enjoyed myself.
Did you come?
I did not.
Yeah, I did.
I did not come. I had banged like
It took me like 50 times before I ever
it took me
came with a chick.
I think like the fourth, maybe fifth girl I had sex with, I finally came. But yeah, I did not come with her, but it was cool. I mean, like it was dark, so when she was
You didn't have to
What-
see her big hands.
no, when she was bent over and stuff, like
It's a butt
like
and an
the
arched
butt that I
back.
didn't
It's
think
great.
was there was actually there.
Yeah,
So she did look like a girl
that's
when she was
so.
bent over in the dark.
yeah.
Otherwise, like, it's not like she didn't look like a girl anyway, but she just always those big, tall girls that wore jackets all the time that like, she never wore like girly things. So, but
Not even girly hands.
no, I don't even think she painted. No, if only. He showed me his phone with a person's name on it. It's not her. But yeah, I banged her for, maybe 8 minutes. I don't know, not a whole lot. So I stopped because, it's just not going anywhere. Or I'm not going to come. And then it was the classic, like, I'm done. And I go on my phone. I'm like, oh, shit, my mom needs her car back. I need to leave, like, now. Like, it was like,
Nice.
I did not stay.
Good for you.
So I crawled out that window, but I felt... I had finally lost my virginity, but
Yeah.
like after it was done and over with, I felt like the biggest fucking dread, dude. Like
Really?
I did not feel good. I did not feel like, yes, this is finally over with. Dude, no. I fucking crawled out her fucking window, and guess what? It was raining outside.
Oh no.
It's raining out. I run out. I crawl out of her fucking window. I go in my car, and I'm like, fuck. What the fuck did I do? And I went to Dylan's house
Yeah.
to go vent to him
Yeah.
about this girl, about this experience. But I didn't mention to him that it was because I lost my virginity that night.
Yeah.
I just, acted as though
You've been fucking all this time.
I just acted like, oh, this is just another girl that was whack or something. But no, I just had to get something out. And then after that, because in my head, like I waited so long to have sex with like a decent person, and not to this day, I'm not gonna try to say that she's not a decent person then, or she's not now. But I had these expectations in my head that I didn't.
Do you think those expectations were from porn?
It probably was. Yeah.
You're thinking, why? How am I not having sex with a big titty, big ass, tan blonde chick?
Yeah. So like
Perfect.
That
teeth.
probably screwed me up a lot. So I was just bummed. Like fuck, man. Like I pushed so many other girls away
because they weren't to your standards, and then you had to
settle.
settle.
Then I banged someone. Then I settled.
Yeah.
With something just to get this off. So I didn't.
I did not. My way up.
I did not. Yeah, I felt like shit afterwards, but then after that, I'm like, whatever, man. Like
that's such a real thing. Like when you have sex with someone that you're not that attracted to, you do not feel good afterwards. It's not a good thing, and I've definitely done it, and I've definitely like done things with people I'm not attracted to, and to this day, like. I'll just be like driving and I'll think about it. I'm like, oh God. And I just want to like drive off the fucking road because I'm like, oh God, oh fuck, why did.
Oh, dude,
just,
like,
I just want to go
thinking
like
of somebody
clean
right.
everything.
I'm thinking about someone right now that like.
I'm thinking about like a fucking classroom full of people. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Not that they were kids, but they could fill a classroom.
Yeah, there's a lot. If I knew where my book was, I can show you my names at my.
Is it in your closet? Do you want to look for it? I gotta use the bathroom. Do you want to pause for a second?
Yeah. Okay. Take a break.
Yeah.
You take a piss, and I'll go look for this book of my shame.
We can do that. All right, I'll be right back.
Turn the candle back on.
You want to turn the candle back on? Is it a fake candle? Yep. You mean, are you lighting it? Oh, that's like a torch. That's a perfect cigar lighter, man. You ever smoke any cigars?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not against it.
I picked up that hobby last year.
Did you?
I did. I smoked like a handful of cigars throughout the year, maybe like once a month.
That's cool.
Oh, it's pretty nice. That was a weak ass one.
Damn it!
We have
I know.
loose buttholes. We gotta stop butt fucking each other so much.
Or it's just super tight.
Or it's super tight and they just like can't even like squeak out. It's like beep beep.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, like I said, I took a shit before we started this.
So you probably fucking gaped yourself, huh?
Yeah, there's nothing in the.
I was wondering what that streak was on the toilet. I tried to piss it off when I was in there.
Oh my God! I try to get the streaks off the toilet as much as I can.
It's fun to like piss them off. It's like using your your piss stream to like.
Yeah.
It's very cathartic.
My brother leaves a lot of stains.
Well, it's probably what he eats.
Well,
like when I got here, he was eating ramen. It's probably gonna leave a lot of stains.
I've actually never seen him eat ramen before, but him and my mom go fucking. They eat the weirdest things. Like I don't know how the fuck they're not like fat as shit. Like they go to fucking Olive Garden all the fucking time.
Yeah, all that.
They
pasta.
go get pizza all the time.
Well,
pretty much
matter of time,
anything
maybe.
like fast food, but like,
that sounds lovely.
Me and him and my mom can stay skinny forever. We just basically, if we're relatively active, or
Is
if
your
we just.
dad fat?
He lost a lot of weight.
I was gonna say, like in my head, he was like kind of like a bigger guy.
He
wasn't fat.
He's a bigger boned dude.
Yeah, like he was just like a buff, like an I don't even know how to describe it. Like he was not fat, but he was like a thick man. Also, he was brown, and all of you are white. I was never entirely sure what was going on there.
I'm starting to look like him more as I age, I think, especially growing like a mustache. I feel like I look like him a little bit more.
Do you have a picture of him?
Yeah.
Let me see it, dude, because I only remember him from 12, 13 years ago.
Let's
Probably fucking longer.
He kind of looks the same, just with a gray.
Oh, you know what? I think I might have seen a picture. I think I know what you're talking about.
Let's see here.
How tall is he?
He was always like 6 foot.
Yeah, okay. I'm about 6 foot. You're 6'2". That's wild.
Yeah. What in the fuck?
Your brother's fucking tall. You guys are tall. I know it's like not very interesting, and people are like, "Oh wow, you're tall." It's like it's like an old Tom Segura joke, but
Yeah.
it to me is. I don't know.
I want to try to find like a normal fucking picture. There was like one with him like strangling a puppy or something. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, that'd be fine. I'll see that.
Okay, so this is one of me. So when we went out to go get like a cocktail with him, or he's not drinking, but we went out to hang out, get some lunch.
You're not drinking right now either.
No,
Good for you.
not at this moment, at least. I can change my mind in like.
Yeah, that's the
20 minutes.
beauty of it. Sometimes.
But
you could just
so
stop.
yeah, see,
I can stop
he
anytime I
had the
want to.
fucking waitress, take a picture of us because he's gay. But
Yeah. Oh god, that's such your dad. Oh jeez.
I'm just showing him a picture right now.
Well, I accidentally made Siri pop up.
Oh.
He's a Suicide Squad shirt on. Your dad's a dork. Does he have a unibrow?
He's always had a unibrow.
Yeah, you're right.
My mom told me if me and my brother had unibrows, then my dad would make us keep it
Wow.
because he just wanted us to get the shit kicked out of us or something.
Who's this waitress?
I don't know.
It's just your terrifying looking dad. You look like you just got out of jail, and this fucking adorable waitress.
Yeah,
and that has to have been recent because she's wearing a face mask.
no, that was 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
Yeah, that's
5
real
months ago,
recent. Yeah.
Whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was recent, and yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that's
Like,
old.
yeah, I'm not. When you don't want to have your picture taken, you're just
It's
not.
very obvious
You're
in the
just
picture.
not photogenic. Yeah, it's like I do not want to hate it. What were we talking about?
I think we were talking about you going to Dylan's to
Oh yeah. So I went over to Dylan's to like vent to him about
losing your virginity.
Yeah.
But not that, but the experience, the anxiety you had
I
after.
hid it from him.
Yeah.
But I was just getting something out. So then in my head, because when you were talking about the segue I was talking about, because you brought up like making up for lost time.
Yeah.
I was making up for lost like pussy.
Yeah.
So after that, I like whatever, man. Like I opened Pandora's box, so might as well.
I think that's what being single as a guy is like you got to
Yeah.
make up for all the pussy you aren't getting when you're in a relationship.
Yeah, I guess so. That's like some warped guy thing, but it's true. So yeah, I was, dude.
I'm sure it's true for women too. I just can't speak for them because I haven't changed my gender. I don't know their experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure like they're
You
also
should-
like when they're
have you ever-
single they have a
Because I
hoe
know
phase
you've
and
had podcasts with girls, right? But have you had podcasts with like a friend and another girl, and they talk about weird shit like that?
like two
Like how we were talking about last night, how like when we were talking about how we jack off and all
Yeah.
that shit, and we asked Kylie like,
Yeah.
what does she do?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
No, I have never had that many like people like on a podcast at once. That I remember. Oh, hold on, this is work. Ugh, gross. 7:30 in the morning. Yikes.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
That sucks dick. But well, I'm with my schedule, I'm like, dude, I'm used to going to bed at 4 a.m.
I do miss
Bullshit
that.
like
I do
that.
miss seeing the sun come up. Now it's like I kind of wake up before the sun almost.
It's overrated, let me tell you. But so yeah, I was just kind of, there's a couple other people I had sex with, that I was kind of thinking about starting something real with them,
Yeah.
I'm not a
I mean, sometimes
I'm not
you just
a, I'm
like
not a
having
total
sex
fuckboy.
with someone.
I think that kind of came out that I'm like a total fuckboy, which I was.
Could
And
you imagine
I
if you
guess I
were
kind of
ugly,
still
though?
am on like some but what?
Can you imagine if you were like ugly though? Like some people are fuckboys because they're ugly and like people can't stand them. You kind of seem like you'd be like a pussy slayer, but like a pussy hound at the same time.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm not usually the first one to bark up a chick's tree. I kind of tend to. I pretend like I don't give a shit about them and have them come to me.
That makes them way more interested in you.
I just kind of be cool with them, pretend I can give a shit less, but in reality, like I do. It's just kind of like a.
Yeah.
I don't have. I guess I just don't have
methodology.
the confidence to go up to somebody and start annoying them. You know,
Well,
I'd rather.
that's
I'd
weird
rather.
'cause
I'd rather them.
You annoy me just fine.
Yeah, but I don't want to fuck you.
You don't?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Not really. No.
Well,
Maybe one day.
I'll get over it.
Maybe when more walls come down, I'll.
Yeah. More walls come down.
But so yeah, I just if I found something attractive about you, it's going down.
About
And
it, like a chick, like you just had. Those were your standards.
yeah, like I said, nothing going on with your body but a cute face. I'm about it. Your face is all fucked up, but you have nice tits and a nice ass. I'm about it. Like it's. Or if you were just like a shit human being, and you annoyed the fuck out of me, but you wanted to bang.
I mean,
I'm about it.
Dude, it's honestly like, I don't know many people who can really judge because it's so hard to find someone that has a nice body, nice tits and ass, nice face, nice personality, is funny, like is age appropriate. Like it's so damn near impossible
like a put together human being
to find like someone or something that's gonna check off every single box of something. There's gonna be something that isn't to your liking in a superficial world. Not like you'd have to like even like Instagram models and porn stars and things like that, and like things that like really are really attractive visually. Like when you hear them talk or
but
like find out
their completely
political leanings, you're like, oh my god, they're retarded. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Or oh no, like they have no taste in music, or oh they like playing video games as an adult, or
I think my issue was that like even if I wasn't really attracted to them, I would fuck them just because it like felt.
Did it feel powerful to be able to just like fuck something too? I feel like that was
because at that time I was finally having like sex kind of regularly, and I had like multiple partners since then. It's like, or like during that time I was banging everything that moved. Like it it gave me this false sense of empowerment, and like looking back on it now, I mean I guess I'll bring that up later, but I just started. Not all of them were ugly. A lot of them were actually, pretty attractive. But there's a handful of them where we're just like, oh, dude.
That's
like,
the crazy thing is
like,
like,
what
I think
the fuck were you like?
The ugly ones stand out so much in my mind, it almost overshadows the not ugly ones.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that like all of them are fucking gross. But if I'm really thinking about it, I'm like, there's only a few of them that were actually disgusting. But like you said, that just sticks out more than the good ones,
because it's like that's like a painful memory I'm trying to forget.
And it was just I was just like going around just like I don't know, just like because I felt like as a dude I had to make up for that lost time.
Yeah.
So I'm like 22, I can't just have like 3 or 4 under my belt. I have to have
30 or 40.
Yeah. And so I probably, I don't know, came off as a real fuckboy at some point, which I was at the time.
What's your definition of fuckboy? When you say that, what do you describe?
You're just kind of like, you manipulate girls. Like a lot of times, like I would play the whole like, oh, I'm a nice guy. I'm not just trying to get in your pants. Like, I think you're interesting.
Oh, okay.
I actually care about what the fuck you're saying.
See, I
don't.
I thought a fuckboy was like someone who's really cringy and tries really hard to get laid, but no one gives them the time of day because everyone knows like what an embarrassment they are.
Yeah, those
like
are just more like idiots.
Yeah, those are just. I just feel like,
or like meatheads or something. Like
that's a fuckboy.
Like I think like with me, my, like you're a fuckboy. It's just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna do whatever I can to manipulate this person to letting me bang them, which is kind of like. It didn't work all the time, but that was just instead of just like bugging someone at the bar, like, hey, what are you doing? And, I can't relate to that. But can I be, I was able to be a nice person to them, even though if they annoyed the fuck out of me, I knew how to kind of spin the plates in a way where, I can talk them into it. and I can make them
Make it seem like
them
their
think
idea.
like, oh, I'm not just trying to bang you. Like I actually think you're interesting or something like that. Which when I look back at it, like it's not fucking nice because if people were doing that to me, like I'd be super. And that's happened to me, so I paid for it in some karmic way for sure. But so yeah, I think back on it now, I'm just like, man, like that shit wasn't nice. But like some of them, they knew what it was about. Like they knew, like they were kind of whores just like me. So not all of them were. It wasn't all manipulation, but I definitely did that, and I just cared about getting laid all the time, just on Tinder all the fucking time, just all I fucking think about, jacking off all the time, like just that was just,
when you put it in terms of something like consumable, like say you have like a really good TV show you want to watch, or like say you love, I don't know, say you got really into football and you want to watch like old Super Bowls and old like legendary seasons, like you want to go back and watch the 85 Bears. It's like, I just want to like consume all of this. Like when you think of it in terms of not a person hurting another person, and think of it in a way that it's you satisfying or filling this void of something, almost like a competition with yourself, it's way more attractive. Like if I was single and I just had to go like on a onslaught of gash. I love that term for a vagina. Oh hell yeah,
gash.
Fucking
not as much as wizard sleeve, but gash is pretty funny. That one's my favorite one, wizard sleeve.
Oh my god! All right, I lost my train of thought with wizard sleeve.
I'm talking about football or something. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, no, when I think about it, like, oh, if I could download all the apps that would eventually lead to me getting laid, and then like also like, do you remember texting a bunch of people at once?
Yeah, like not a group, but it wasn't a group text.
No,
it was
not
basically
a group. No, I'm saying like, say you were talking to 4 different girls at once.
Oh,
you were like spinning plates with girls, where it's like,
I did that shit all the time,
dude. That was so hard because it was like I gotta keep up like my personality, appearances, jokes, and things like that. With
I was always myself. I mean, I'm not saying you weren't, but like I always did the same thing with all these different girls.
Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
No, dude, you just kind of. I think I actually got laid off of Tinder? Not really, dude. Like I
never once met someone off of Tinder.
Like I maybe got laid off of Tinder maybe 4 or 5, 6, 7 times. I don't know.
That's amazing.
Not that much though. That's because a lot of the time,
compared to my 0 though, that's pretty amazing.
Like a lot of the times it's just Tinder's like a weird, like it's a sketchy little website, like.
It sounds fun. As a person who's been in a relationship for years, the idea of like, you're hot, you're not, swipe right, swipe left, swipe right, swipe
I mean, it's
left.
a lot easier than going out to the supermarket and trying to hit on a chick.
Yeah, so it's like that sounds like so much fun. Because that's essentially what you're doing on Instagram when you're scrolling. You're like, you're hot, no like for you because you're not. You're hot, double tap.
When I had Instagram, I've never went into girls' DMs, but it was kind of funny. I've brought this up before. When I thought people said, "Oh, I'm up in this girl's DMs," like I didn't mean. I used to think that meant like, "Oh, I'm fucking her already." Like, "Oh, I'm up in her DM," which I thought was her.
I don't know.
Some body part, like, "Oh, I'm up in their DMs," like as if they're saying like I'm up in their butt right now. Like I always thought, I didn't really know what DMs meant till, because me, whenever I had social media, like I don't post nothing. Yeah, I'm one of those dudes that just kind of like, I just want to see what everyone else is doing because, I got shit going on, but like I don't care to really show people what I'm doing.
I have such a
even
big
if I did, I didn't have
ego that I'm like, oh, like people have to see what I'm doing. They have to. I literally have a podcast, dude. I'm fucking. There's definitely some attention whore. Identity inside of me.
Yeah, I just never really had. I guess like really I don't know, like confidence, or I was too insecure to like. Oh, look at my I look back on my old Facebook and the shit these stupid, like, look at me, fucking nice guy looking pictures I would post, and pictures of my fucking cat, and like fucking like,
You
dumb,
can be whoever you want.
like dumb little.
Here's the good thing about that though, is I'll go back and I'll look at how I used to act and how I used to be, and I go, thank God I did something about that, because I'd still be this cringy motherfucker over here. And I have actual proof. I have a timeline of me getting better at taking pictures, at being social, at opening up, at trying new things, at being loved and appreciating.
I like how you're slowly like leaning
collapsing
back as
like I'm like, it's getting more. Yeah, that's some performative shit. It's just my you know what I mean?
I dig it.
It's just, social media is such a good tool when someone knows how to use it correctly. And I always had a hard time expressing myself in school, in public, at the skate park. Like the way I can express myself wasn't always in a way someone was going to appreciate. Mm-hmm. Social media gives it a lot easier facilitation for being able to express yourself.
And then you can, I don't know, it's really cool. You can meet people from all over and you guys can communicate. Because, like, one cool thing about social media that I actually did do was our little group chat that we were in. Like, I don't call Garrett, Daniel, or Dane, like, say, how are you doing?
It was
it's
fun.
like, no, we're on our fucking group chat, like, sending pictures to each other. Yeah. That's, like, kind of how we communicate, So... if there's one thing I do miss is that, and then seeing what people are doing, I guess, and it's cool. But I guess for me, just, I didn't need one more reason to stay in bed when I woke up and just scrolling through my phone and I'll be awake.
You're probably better off.
And not everyone is like that, but for me personally, like, I would like, I'm scrolling up on my phone. I've been awake for an hour. I'm just like, I'm just super on my phone. I'm like, dude, put this fucking phone away, put it down, and get out of bed and do something. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing I have on my phone is fucking, laugh at me. I fucking have Pinterest on my phone, and I usually look at that when I shit, or like, I kind of use it for kind of inspiration when I used to paint. Yeah. And then, same, like, because as you know, I've been like getting tattooed lately, so like, you get great
tattoos. Yeah,
thank you.
I rarely have. You also have some of the worst fucking things I've ever seen. Like my name, like Dallas is a pussy is like, tattooed on your leg.
Yeah, that's
How many times do you think the word pussy is tattooed on you?
Well, let's count. So that's 1 on the right leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You have 8 pussies on you.
Yeah. Well, technically I have 9, but it doesn't say pussy. But this word means a vagina. But it's not the word pussy.
So yeah, you have 9 pussies on you.
Yeah.
I really love the spot my name got on your calf. Like, it's really great real estate. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel very special right there.
It's above everyone else besides my mom.
Yeah, and honestly,
and then
I could never be above your mom unless I was on top of her.
As time goes by, I look at them and, like, I think about covering the whole thing up because, like, it was fun at the time, but like now it's like whatever. But I also think, no, I actually like them a lot. I can do without maybe some of these other things on my leg, or not so much these ones, but on my other leg, that stupid, that one thing I just got.
Yeah,
I could probably, do without that. But but they're on my legs. I don't ever fucking wear shorts. I'm like, oh, but what if you go to the swimming pool as an old man with your grandkids? Like, well, when I'm older, I'm not gonna care anyway. So I think it'll be funny.
It'll be very funny. Like, there's gonna be way weirder shit.
Yeah,
than
but
your
that's
tattoos.
why I gave like real estate to my legs. So I don't really care. Like, the only time I ever had anyone tattoo my arms was was Peanut. He tattooed the Misfit skull, and then he tattooed this Cochino that I'm getting lasered off.
Yeah, Misfit skull look came out great.
Those were
even the Cochino came out great, but it's just gone now.
Yeah, I'm just kind of over because people always say, well, why don't you just get it covered? I'm like, I'm gonna get it covered, but I'm covering my whole right arm first, and by that time, it's gonna take a while.
Your arm looks great. I've been staring at Matt's portrait this entire time.
Yeah.
Also, you just have a nice bicep. I think it really flatters your physique there. I didn't realize you had biceps at all. I thought you were just a scrawny motherfucker.
I've been working on it. I used to work out all the fucking time, and I was up to 190. 190.
Wow.
But that was
I could get down to 190. That's crazy.
Well, if you've known me forever, I was 130 when I was 18 all the way up to.
That's crazy.
It's hard to get. It's hard. Like, I'm trying to get back to 175 right now.
Is that up or down from where you're at?
That's up from where I'm at.
What do you weigh right now?
I'm like 165. Like I hover around that.
Yeah. You look like 160, 165. That's not even a male weight.
Well, it's not a male weight for a 6'2", 6'3" male.
I'm just teasing you.
But
I literally watch savages fight every Saturday on UFC that are below 200 pounds all the time.
Oh no, yeah, so. But I guess that's a decent problem to have. I'd rather have an issue gaining weight than an issue losing it.
Weight.
I'd rather be a skinny shit than a fat fuck.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like, I guess it's a good problem to have. I'm sure someone's on there like, what the fuck, bro? You can't, you're worried about gaining 10 pounds. I need to lose a fucking 100. I have diabetes.
Those people
and shit.
have plenty of excuses they make for themselves anyways, whether they realize it or
not.
But
I use an excuse. I use an excuse the same to not fucking eat better and exercise every day. It's like, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing. So, but, we all make excuses for things. But yeah, I like how the mat came out. I was really stoked on that one. I recommend you really look up your artists, and if they are good at
portraits, or you have to be very careful with.
Yeah, like if they're really good at the style and the thing that you want, go to them.
Yeah.
Don't go to the dude that's mediocre, because the first one I did was this chick with the wine glass, which is a Misfits.
Die my darling. Yeah, of course.
And
it looks terrific.
Thank you.
I can't believe I have a friend with that nice of artwork.
I was gonna go to this other dude. Well, first I wanted to go to this girl in Pismo. But she's like super booked. She's like, she actually was not taking any more bookings. She's so booked. Like, you can hit her up in like a couple years. I'm like,
wow,
whatever. So they said like, well, we have this other dude. Like, dude, that's just like bread and butter, man. Like black and gray, blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, like set me up a appointment or like a consultation. And after I had done that, I looked up his work, and I'm like, yeah, he's not bad. But I know I could find somebody better. And I'd already, before I started actually getting tattooed, like, I've already been looking up artists that I was interested in and things of that sort. And everyone wants to go to, like, oh, I want to go see Nico Hurtado or, like, Tattoo Baby. Like, these people you see on, like
Instagram,
yeah, dude, like,
shit,
fucking good luck. Fucking make a reservation for 3 years.
Yeah. Let's see if you're famous enough to cut in line, bitch.
Yeah, like, you gotta, yeah. So, yeah, I really recommend really doing your research on what you want and who does it well. Don't just walk into a shop and be like, yo, I want my one of my best friends that passed away portrait. Can you do a portrait? Like, oh, yeah. It's not.
And then they just butcher it and doesn't even look like him.
Yeah, so like I'm stoked that I chose the dude that I chose to go to. So, but I like I said, I was gonna, I'm gonna continue on down this arm, but since I just started working again, I'm probably gonna tell him like postpone my next appointment, which is next month.
What were you getting?
just another portrait of a chick, but like her face is like, I'm kind of going with this theme because I have
the
broken glass on my elbow.
Yeah, that looks great. I love that.
It's
one.
basically
That
gonna be like a hot chick's face, but like
shattered.
part of her face is shattered, like glass shattered.
I dig it.
So, but yeah, do you know what, dude? The elbow does not hurt as bad.
I couldn't imagine that it would hurt terribly bad. Like I don't feel anything when I pinch the skin over there.
But for some reason, people like, I always thought like, dude, the elbow is gonna be gnarly. I was actually, you know, that's one thing. I always have anxiety before I get tattooed.
And tattoo. That's
Always.
one place I always have anxiety. Here's the thing: is tattoo artists are fucking assholes. They
can be
tattoo artists. Like I've never met one that isn't a fucking dick. I don't know what it is. It's like, I didn't choose this life for you. You had it. I've never had like a happy-go-lucky tattoo artist. They're always grumpy. They're fucking pissy. It's just like, oh, what did your dream of doing art for a living not fucking turn out to be the happiest days of your life, dickhead?
Mm-hmm.
And they're so fucking elitist, and they're just so judgy, and just like make rude little comments, and it's like I literally, if you went to a restaurant and everyone was just like short with you and was just like, oh, you're gonna order that,
or like a waiter, if I'm like an asshole to them, like they're either one just gonna get up and leave or never go to you again,
or they're just gonna be like, okay, I guess I'm gonna like a nice restaurant where it's like, I guess I'm gonna pay a bunch of money for this super nice meal.
A lot of them kind of have this, like, you know, like, look, I love tattoos. I've been into that since I was forever.
Yeah, we've been drawing on ourselves as long as I remember.
We were talking about this last night. You know, I've just been drawing on myself since I was fucking 10.
I can't believe last night was last night. It feels like days ago to me.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm so fucking...
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool night.
I had a good time. I wish we could do it again tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, some of them do seem like, oh, like I'm too cool or something. Like I'm like, oh, look at me, like I'm a tattoo artist. Like, yeah, dude, but you're not a doctor, so stop acting like one. You know, like stop acting like you.
They
are
walk
actually,
around
like,
with this, the biggest.
Because girls want to
ego.
bang them. Because the tattoo artist is, you know, it's like, oh, look at this like bad boy dude with the tattoo on his fucking face and neck. You know, daddy will really hate it if I bring him home. I want to fucking bang
any young
him.
chick with a lot of tattoos, I just immediately assume just fucked and sucked for all of those, because I don't get how anyone affords that. Also, if your only personality is just like, oh, I'm so addicted to tattoos, I can't wait to get my next one, those fucking people drive me nuts. Where it's just like they have no personality, so getting tattoos is their personality.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's their whole existence. I'm sure even tattoo artists are like, yuck.
I mean, no, I
like,
get...
they don't even get good ones. They just get like, oh, I'm going to get a geometric one next. Or, you know, I'm going to get a fucking... I don't even know. I'm going to get my script one next, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's always one.
There was part, because I started getting tattoos like later. You know, my first one was Matt's name on my hand, and I was 25, so... It took a while for me to actually...
That's what... You took your jacket off last night, and it was just like, this sexy motherfucker. Like, you just had, like, hot points.
You know, I like them. I always thought I would look decent in tattoos, so...
Yeah, I have no concept of tattoos looking...
I think it's just like,
me.
if you do it natural way, like start from the shoulder and work your way down your arm. Don't start... I mean, granted, I started on my hand, but it's a mellow one. It's not on the top of my hand. I'm not gonna, you know, I didn't blast my forearm. Ugh, you know, like God. I didn't blast the top of my forearm before I did everything. How many people
do you know that's like, oh, I'm saving up for my first tattoo, and they just get this ridiculous shit on their fucking forearm? Just a big real... That was gonna be my first tattoo. I almost fucking did it. I almost got the scapegoat on my fucking forearm.
Dude, I almost got skate and destroy on my wrist.
Yeah, 100%. Like I've almost gotten
I would not be
before.
too bummed. I would not be too happy with that. I had so many ideas in my head. I'm so glad I waited. Because if I would have got the same shit I wanted like at 18, like I'd probably be looking at him in the mirror now like, that was dumb. You know, that was like...
I used to want to get I Hate God, EYE, on my toes. It's like one of my
I mean,
favorite
that would have fit your personality, I guess, at that time. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's just a good band.
Oh, it's a band.
Yeah, they're like just a old school sludge metal band from the early 90s.
Well, then that's cool. You know, it'd be one thing if you actually had the words "I hate God" on your, which, you know, if you do, I mean, okay. But
well, it's so funny now because like I'm not trying to like upset anyone, so like I have one of their t-shirts, and like I'll be kind of careful when I'm wearing it, and I'll get a little self-conscious of like people I'm around that like I know, or like people of faith or whatever, and I'm just like, I hope they know, like I just like their music, like this is a thing. And even some of them are like Christian too.
Like, you know, like it's cool to be
edgy
yourself and don't care about what other people think, but sometimes it's not.
Also cool
it's
to
also
care.
It's also cool to care, like, hey, like this is probably like, should I wear, you know, a shirt of this girl having a prolapsed asshole at church, if you go to church, or like or at like your daughter's, like, you know,
bar mitzvah,
or like she has like a little play at school, like should you be fucking,
and you have the Jesus is a cunt shirt on.
Like, no, like it's probably not the best thing to wear, you know. So it's cool to be yourself and be different, but it's also cool to be respectful. And
my dad picked me up from preschool one day, and he had a shirt on that said "I fuck, therefore I am," and he had to go out of the preschool and turn it inside out to come pick me up.
I feel like that's just people screaming for attention.
This was like,
25
like years ago, so it made a lot of sense to 24 years ago to like maybe not walk in with the word fuck at a preschool on your shirt.
Yeah, I mean, part of that is funny, and I dig it on some level. But
that just makes me love my dad so much.
That's the rebellion part of me. That's like, oh, that's funny, but
it's hilarious.
You know, but I'm super glad that I waited. My last recent one was the Minor Threat.
Oh, dude, I know that's so fucking cool.
I was pretty stoked on that one, and
it looks great. Honestly, like I couldn't be more impressed with the way the tattoos on your arm look. It's so cool.
Yeah, I was stoked on it, and it's just like, because
I have like the most like blah tattoos. They're just so like, there's nothing spectacular about any of them.
They're all better than the ones I have on my legs. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have.
Yeah, I don't have the word pussy
I cared to save up and wait for it to have decent or like somewhat decent looking things on my arms, but my legs, like, whatever, dude. Like, I don't. Because I started getting my legs tattooed first because I would have, another anxiety thing I was going through. Like, and like you said, a lot of tattoo artists are kind of douchey people, and I don't like sitting still. And during a tattoo, that's like the most important thing you need to do.
I love the challenge of that.
Sit fucking still. And I never saw it as a challenge. I used to always think like, oh fuck, like, there's no way I can sit still and not freak out while this dude's drilling on me. So the first time I went and did it, like, yeah, like I was pretty anxious about it, and but it wasn't so much about the pain. It was just so much about, I got to sit here with a stranger for 7 hours, because the chick with the wine glass on my arm, that took like almost 8 hours. But luckily the dude that I go see, like, he's Jake Stockstill, his if I can plug him real quick, his Instagram's Art by Jake.
Yeah.
Check his shit out. He's really good.
And he has a
long wait list, so. But yeah, if you have the time to look up his shit,
I'll look at shit.
It's worth a look. He's really good at what he does, and he's really cool too.
That's cool.
Like, when you mentioned like they're douches, like, yeah, most of them, some of them are, but like, he's actually very fucking cool. Like, I've never, put my headphones in to listen to music,
because you can always kind of like
we make a conversation last like the whole session about like random things, like,
really get to know someone.
We kind of have the same views on like political crap,
Yeah.
Kind of like,
you get like a sense of
kind of like,
who someone
he used to be
is.
kind of like a skater dude, and like,
yeah,
I'm, we just kind of have like similar or we can just like agree or
Wow.
disagree on certain things, and it's cool.
These are great. These are fucking great. I'm looking at a Doc Holliday. There's a Resident Evil one. There's Spock and Dexter. Dude, these are fucking amazing.
No, yeah, he's really good. But you know what's funny? The first girl I wanted to get tattooed by, you know, the one with the long wait list?
Yeah.
She was actually his apprentice at one point.
Oh, wow. What a crazy fucking small town this is.
It was really cool. It's like getting the next best thing, or the best thing, you know. I'm getting tattooed by the person that taught the girl I originally wanted, like how to tattoo, you know.
That's cool, dude. These are fucking amazing.
Yeah, so I would definitely check that dude out.
The more I look at tattoos, the more discouraged I get from getting tattoos. Does that make sense?
In what way?
Like, I'm seeing all of these, and they're very cool, but I also can't imagine myself getting any of these. Not that I would want someone else's tattoo, because I think that's stupid when someone sees someone else's tattoo and then they just go, I want this on me, and it's like, you're fucking kidding me, right?
Yeah, I think it's cool to have something somewhat
give them a follow.
Unique, but I mean, I don't know. I have a regular Misfits skull on my arm, which I'm sure
I got
4 million people have.
Yeah, I got the 138, but I had Kuko put the 138 right next to AC/DC because I thought I was gonna have so many tattoos. I was already like tucking them next to each other, and it makes no fucking sense. It's just like AC/DC 138 right next to it. Fuck that up.
Hold on, let me see it. Oh, it's like, it's so close to it that
it looks like it was part of the
it's
piece.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I can see what you mean by that.
Yeah. So I honestly like
AC/DC and 138.
And then
what?
I got this shit. And I got one or two more back here. Boys don't cry.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know what the fuck's over here. I have Mr. Tumnus. And then
that's what I was thinking about when I saw that.
Mr. Tumnus is everyone's favorite on and it wasn't even like specifically Mr. Tumnus. It was just on a flash sheet that this apprentice was working at Lost Kings in Lompoc had.
Oh, okay.
It was a $40 tattoo, and I was like, I have $40, and I didn't tip her because I didn't know you were supposed to tip tattoo artists. And
oh my god, I was the same way with going to the casino.
Oh.
And like playing blackjack or something.
Yeah,
like I had
free drinks.
Well, I never got drinks. You're supposed to tip the people at the table.
Oh yeah, duh.
Like the dealers.
Yeah.
I had no clue, and so I met a couple people through some coworkers that they worked at the casino, and they relied on their tips because they make like, you know, their Indian reservation. You know, like, oh, let me get a hit of that. Is this weed? Mm-hmm. Oh, then never mind. What was that?
Almost fucking broke your record there. They rely on their tips at the Indian reservation.
Yeah, well, because they
Indian,
don't have
the same.
They get their Indian
laws.
money. They get like fucking $5 or $7 an hour, and I kind of felt bad about, you know.
That's okay. You live and you learn, dude.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. Just
well,
I don't
feel that bad about it.
But you
I just
know
feel
you
like oh
goofed.
man, like, because if somebody, you know, because I'm a server, I rely on my tips too. So like, if no one tipped me, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm just shouldn't be in this business then.
Well, I'm just curious because I've never had a serving position, and the only job I really got tips at was Starbucks, and it was literally like
anywhere an extra $1.
It was like $5 to $20 a week in tips. In like a little baggie. It was nothing because you split the tips and no one tips people at Starbucks. It's fucking
like
awful.
Oh, I don't need that nickel, keep it.
Exactly. It was really brutal. I think I've never gotten more than like $30 a week in tips. But I was gonna ask, what's a good night at tips in a serving position at like your last job?
I mean, it's really hit and miss, to be honest.
But like,
with
what
you.
was like a good night? What would you consider like?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that was
the most.
I walked
so
away
the
with
most.
like a good.
Okay, how about this? So the least amount of money I've ever made on a shift, a slow ass night. Fuck, dude, maybe $10.
Yeah,
for
okay.
a night.
I'd be lucky
But
to
plus,
get $10
plus your
at
hourly
Starbucks a
wage,
week
you know, whatever.
sometimes.
Like, but in tips, like, yeah, 10, 20, $30. Like,
Yeah.
that's a shit night.
Yeah.
The most I've ever made in one night was $545.
That's a fucking lot. That's more than I get probably paid in a week. Nah, but still, that's
but for
pretty
one
nice.
night, like
yeah,
that's
one
a lot.
night. That's
so
awesome.
That's very few and far between. But if you work at a decent place, it's rare that I didn't make at least $100 a day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
A lot would be like, it was always between 100 and 250.
Might be an extra $500 a week.
Yeah, and like on the weekends, like you can easily, at my like shitty spot, like I was at the time, like you can easily make at least 180 to 230 bucks on the weekends or something.
That's badass. That's
so
pretty cool.
Yeah, plus you're like, plus your shitty hourly or whatever. So which was
my
minimum
mom,
wage. So
when she was a bartender, and after she was a stripper, her tips were so good that like by the time the payday came around, she was like, oh, the paycheck, oh, this little thing, I'm fine. Like she made so much money in tips that the paycheck was an afterthought.
Yeah, at my old spot, you would get everything, like your tips and your hourly together.
Oh, so they tax them?
Yeah.
That sucks.
So, but I mean, whatever. I still made good money. I made enough money to where like I'm not gonna work an hourly job unless it's a job that pays at least $35 an hour. Yeah. Because if I do the math, like
it doesn't.
I was doing at least between 32 and like $4,000 a month.
Oh wow, that's really good
for like a fucking serving
position.
like
that's
shitty cocktails.
Awesome.
Like
I've never made that much money. That's awesome.
Yeah, and all it went to was lawyer fees and like things of that sort, and like tattoos and shit and alcohol. But
that sounds like a dream, dude. If I had that much money, I'd definitely be blowing it on some fucking tattoos and some alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but now I'm just kind of like, fuck.
That's so funny.
I need new tires. Like you were giving me shit about. Like,
dude,
I want a new car. I want to move out.
I was driving here, and all I could think of was, I hope he lives long enough to do this podcast.
You got me all kind of paranoid about it now, because when I went to therapy today and I was driving back home, I was like thinking like, God damn it, that motherfucker got me thinking about my goddamn tires right now. Like,
you should be. How that? Oh my, dude! I was driving here and I was like, I hope my tires are okay, and they fucking are. They're barely a year or two old. Yours have no tread on the front whatsoever. It like I said, my friend's tire completely blew out, and it was just driving on a rim, and he had no idea because he didn't know shit about tires, just like apparently you didn't.
I just know they're supposed to have air in them.
That's pretty
my car
good.
will let
That's
me know.
Start.
My car will let me know
if it's low.
Also, you got me looking at
door handles,
hubcaps too.
Oh, hubcaps. Yeah.
So Dallas fucking, I don't know. Like he was giving me shit about my bald tires, and I'm like, well, look at my hubcaps. They're new, And he's like, hubcaps are like the thing of the past. Like,
they stopped putting hubcaps on cars.
They stopped putting hubcaps on cars like 10 years ago or some shit. And I'm like looking at the time we're in the parking lot, and I'm like looking at all the cars.
Not a hubcap
like, there's
inside.
not a
They're
fucking
all
hubcap on any of them. And I'm like, huh.
You're like,
I never knew that. And so when I was leaving, I
have a 20-year-old car. I don't even have hubcaps on there.
When I was leaving AG, I was looking at cars, and I saw them with hubcaps. I'm like,
these are pieces of shit cars.
Like, look at all these shitty cars, and look at all these shitty cars, and they all have hubcaps on them. So
yeah, it's okay. It's just you have an older vehicle. That's all.
Well, it's a fucking great vehicle.
I thought it was funny.
If you look at it, it looks like a hunk of shit.
Because it's like, that's like me getting stoked about a color TV in the 80s or 90s. It's like, there's no black and white ones anymore, asshole.
But it looks a lot better because when they didn't have any hubcaps on them, it just looked like, stranger danger. Like who's driving in my fucking
It looks like
my neighborhood.
A human trafficking car.
Yeah, kind of, dude. It just sticks out a lot. And then like I told you yesterday, when I'm like driving and there's like, attractive girls walking on the
'Cause
right
whole
side of the
right
road.
side of your car is
the right
fucked
side
up.
looks like dog shit.
There's no door
and they
handle
look
on the
at me through the
passenger.
right side like, oh, don't look at me. But if they're on the left side of the car, like it's fine.
You
But
ever-
even the front looks like shit too, so it's kind of.
So, how do you have such a dinged up car? I've had 3 cars and I've only kind of dinged them.
Oh fuck! I suck at parking.
Oh,
I just don't really know
like
how
parallel
to.
parking?
I just don't do that.
Yeah, that's a no for me, dog.
I've done it before, and I like want to give myself a blue ribbon every time I don't hit the car behind me, even though I'm 4 feet away from the
Do
curb.
you know what? Oh man. I saw a diagram on like Tumblr 10 years ago about how to. This is before I even drove. About how to parallel park, and I just remembered it, and it's so true every time. And I just visualize it, and I parallel park, and it works amazing. You know, it's a great way to learn how to parallel park is go to a town like a city like SLO or SB where there's one-way streets and parallel park on the driver's side. Do that and then try to mimic that on the passenger side. Yeah. If we go
I'm
somewhere,
just gonna find a place to park.
I literally would love after this if we could just go somewhere and I'll show you how to parallel park. So you'll never
know
forget
how to parallel park enough.
No. So not so you know enough, so you will never forget, and so you will always have that in your back pocket. There's no way that you should be almost 30 and you're taking a girl out on a date and you're like, can you watch the curb for me because it's in danger.
Oh, I've never done that. I just park a mile away to find a parking spot.
I'm just saying. It's just a power move to flex more. Nothing wrong with being more advanced.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, so yeah, I just
Suck at parking?
I sucked at parking, even fronts. Like I can't gauge like when I'm not gonna hit the curb.
Do you have
like
eyesight issues? I'm
No,
not making a joke. I'm
just
asking
kinda
if is that like part of it? Is like
no.
a depth perception thing?
No, I think it's just I just don't pay attention, and I just hit the fucking curb, and then my car's lower, like the front part of my car is lower than I think it is, so I just like I'm parking, I'll hit the little
the parking curb.
Yeah,
Our favorite no comply spot.
yeah. So I'll hit that, and after time, just hit off my whole front bumper. And now, the zip tie. I have to change the zip ties every once in a while. I was in and out parking lot, and the zip tie broke, and so my left side of my bumper was dragging on the ground. So I was kind of tripping. I was like, "Fuck!" Well, I was actually really tripping. So I grabbed my phone charger, I cut it, and I went outside and tied it with my phone charger.
Oh my god, that's some
and
ghetto shit right
I
there.
left it on there for like a month.
Oh my god, Kale, you're a fucking amazing.
I just stopped. I just don't care. I just didn't care about the things I should be caring about.
No. It's totally okay because it makes you so interesting and cool to me as a person, and I strive to be someone who is more carefree because I felt like I used to be described as a very carefree, don't give a fuck type of person. Mm-hmm. But now I feel like I care about so many things, care about everything. Even the inception of the name of the podcast was about me caring about having good etiquette around people and places and new cultures and new hobbies and whatever. So it's just like a hyper fixation on maybe caring too much. One thing that kind of honestly has helped me not care about shit so much and been like more chillax or whatever you want to say is being with Kylie. Mm-hmm. Like she's like my homie, like my best friend. Like when I'm out with her, it's just like when we were at the bar last night, it was just like whoever came up to us, I was like, I could not care less who this person is. I just want to like look at, make eye contact with Kylie and like roll our eyes and be like, oh God, who the fuck is it now? Or what is this? Or this guy's weird, or this chick's drunk.
That's super cool.
That's like,
I kind of got like that with somebody before.
Yeah.
But, once you date someone for a little while and you get close with them and you're comfortable with them, it's pretty cool. But don't get me wrong. I fucking care a lot about a lot of different things. I just don't.
You're not preoccupied with the typical things.
Well, I don't care about the things I should be caring about. I put too much.
Like what?
I put too like. I don't know. I guess I'm like just more focused on like other things than like, oh, whatever. Like I need new tires. Or like, oh, like my bumper's falling off. Like, whatever. Like, I just procrastinate a lot. That's my issue. Like, I need to go to the dentist. I have fucking teeth falling out, and I have shitty insurance, so I
procrastinate a lot too.
So I think that's my thing. It's not like I just don't. It's not like I don't care about stuff, but I procrastinate. I put things on the back burner a lot.
Is there something that you do to be productive, or something that you do maybe on a daily or weekly basis that kind of like organizes your life? Maybe you make like a planner or like lists, or maybe you like plan it out, make a reminder on your phone, or maybe you have a calendar.
I've only had to do reminders when it came to like, you know, like things that I know are really important, like say doctor's appointment or, you know, court, you know, things of that sort. I will write that down. I will not miss or be late to certain things. Like there's certain stuff where like, no, you cannot be late, or you can't miss certain things. So
those are pretty standard. I'm saying more about like having a planner, or maybe like a list of things to get done. Like maybe it's get tires, go to the dentist, get a new skateboard, or like you know, or like remember to, I don't know, get an oil change, like things like that, you know, maybe you got to do.
Oh,
and
so you mean
you
like
acknowledge
put,
them.
Like, oh, like put like a
goals,
little calendar on your fucking wall, and then like
exactly.
No.
So I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but because you are one of my lifelong best friends, and I consider you, you know, one of the closest people to my heart and butthole. But I just think that for example, I started writing in a planner.
Mm-hmm.
Like not a planner, but like a planner. Yeah, a daily
notebook.
Planner book. It's a notebook with a calendar, and I write things every single day just to fill it. And I try to do those or stick to it. And like your name is on like 3-4 months in a row, because I was trying to get this podcast done since June. You piece of shit. And it like things like that, or I don't know, like, you know, write my schedule, my hours down, things where it becomes a routine. So that way, when there's something that is something I know I would procrastinate, like getting my oil changed, or detailing my car, or you know, going to the dentist, or making an appointment, or something like that, I could put it on the list and I go, that's already coming up, I'm just going to do that when it comes.
I think my problem is like I just kind of procrastinate on the things I just don't want to do, you know, like is
laundry.
it gonna
fuck
like laundry, or like, oh cool, I gotta go to the dentist, get my teeth drilled on, like, yeah, that sounds like fun, you know. So I'll push those things on the back burner. But you know, like I've tried doing like having a little notebook. I've used a notebook to try to keep tabs on how much money I was spending, you know, like, so I'd write down like how much money I'm spending on food and alcohol, and
I think people
like how much money I was making.
Used to call that balancing their checkbook.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I think that's what balancing. I don't really know, because I never had a checkbook in my life. But I think when people said,
I just recently got a checkbook.
I have checks now, but yeah, I just go to the bank and say, hey, could I have checks? And they go, here you go.
Yeah, so I was writing down how much money I was making a night, or like throughout the week, and then how much money I was spending on alcohol, preferably. I was just worried about the alcohol. Money I was spending on that, and it was a lot. So it was just reminding me of like, all right, no, that sucks. So I stopped doing that so I can stop thinking about it.
That's one of my favorite things, is not drinking.
Which is actually really cool. Like, I've been able to, since I haven't been drinking these last couple weeks, you know, I'm I'm not really spending that much money. And plus, it's not just the alcohol.
It's everything you
it's the
do
food,
when you're drinking.
My food. No. I don't do shit. Like when I'm drinking, I'm just.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go
when
ahead.
I'm drinking,
I'll stop interrupting you.
When I'm drinking, I'm drinking. And then I'll occasionally go to the fucking Denny's because it's the only thing that's open. But it's the food, dude. Like I think just like, you know, I'm still living at my mom's house. Like I don't pay a whole lot. I mean, I have, you know, bills and things, but like not, you know, my mom doesn't bother me for rent or anything like that. So like whatever,
really
I don't
nice.
I don't have to worry about that. So I have like this luxury, like, oh, if I go to the bar, I can go, you know, what's your top mezcal that you got?
Yeah.
Oh, it's $40. Good, perfect. Give me that one. You know, just being this like, ooh, like look at this fucking hot shot, even though I'm by myself most of the time. So like, who am I showing off to? Like nobody. And
you're just practicing for when
that, and then spending my money, like I'll go get sushi twice a day in one day, or like breakfast, and then if I don't feel like anything else, I'll get it for dinner again, or I'll go get you know, $50 lamb at the Mediterranean restaurant for $50 a whack for breakfast.
Whoa.
Like my food,
Baller.
My food was just
So you treated yourself with the food.
too much. Like I had this like luxury, like, oh, I'm not paying for a whole lot right now, so let's go spit. You know, I'm able to. That's why I can get all these fucking tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I can, you know, spend money on food and drinks because like I have that luxury, but it's kind of like, man, like it would be nicer if I would have had some like a lot more of that money that I was spending, because I can use that right now. Because when I quit my job, I got the worst time, like right before Christmas, and then like I didn't get any presents, bro. What the fuck? I was out for like a month of not working, which was just like was way longer than I thought I was going to be out for.
Yeah, because people are hiring like crazy because no one wants to fucking work.
I mean, you would think. But like
you would think, but it doesn't.
But like
a
handful of people I was going for like weren't hitting me back up, or like, you know, like, oh, like it's the dead season, you know, like we're not really looking for anybody right now. Like people are actually fighting for shifts right now. We don't need no one at this time. I'm like, well, fuck, dude. So, but then I finally found some place which will be cool, I guess. We'll see how it goes. But I'm just like happy to be occupied, doing something.
Yeah, honestly, I think having a job is so important for people's mental health. And I know friends or former friends of mine or people I grew up with that couldn't hold a job or didn't work or didn't want to work, and they were lazy, and they just expected to like steal or like someone give them shit for free, or not really do anything to challenge themselves to get to a better place in life. And it just really, really has made them suffer. And it's like, I have no sympathy for you, because like even like you can go to any fast food restaurant, find the dumbest fucking person from that graduating class, that's where they work, and they're doing better than you are. You're just a goddamn loser. You can't even get a job. Like there's no shame in working at a fast food restaurant either. Just
there's more shame not having a job than working at fucking 100%. McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like it really is. Like you know,
I have way more respect for people who like my friend. I remember when my friends would get jobs and they'd just like work at fast food restaurants, and I'm like, what is the matter with you? Like, you're better than that. And I didn't even have a job, and I was the loser, and it was just stupid of me to even think that. And then I remember I just was a little checkout boy at Walgreens for 2 years, and it was life changing.
Those are the perfect little first jobs to get. Like I worked at Jack in the Box.
Yeah,
my first job, and like those little shit fucking, it's just a good way to experience
for 4 years
people, because like I don't know. I really benefited from working somewhere like that for my first job.
You think it made you nicer to people, nicer to like food service people?
I feel like I was always, yeah. Yeah, like I stopped giving the people in the drive-thru shit. Like I never really ever gave them shit, but like I would like when your friends like in the drive-thru, and I'm in the back seat, and I'm like dick, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like or like
find out how annoying that is,
or something stupid, like just be annoying. So because when I started working there and people would do shit like that, like I'm gonna spit in this fucking fool's food.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. When I did do that, I didn't do that on just like anyone who like drove in there and said something annoying. It was always someone that was a dick to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, motherfucker, I'm gonna make your food super fresh. I'm not gonna give you this old food right here. I'm gonna make you some brand new tacos. It's gonna be hot as fuck. It's gonna burn your mouth when you eat it.
Ooh, I can't wait.
And I'm gonna spit in this thing, but it's gonna be so fresh and so good. You're not gonna taste it, but you're gonna love my taco with my spit in it. And I'm gonna watch you fucking eat this thing in the fucking parking lot, and I'm gonna smile the whole time. I'm gonna smile even when you're littering outside your fucking car into our fucking driveway or our fucking parking lot. And I'm just gonna sit there like, yeah, I know that's good. Fucking piece of shit. So yeah, I don't do that anymore. And same with like waiting. Like I used to never fucking tip the waiters. Like, what do you give them extra money? Like, fuck for?
Give them extra money.
Like what the fuck for? Like, it costs this. Why do you need? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, if you want the money, make it cost that.
Oh, you did your job, so I need to pay you more than your job. What? So
it is kind of funny.
It is really funny. Other countries don't do that.
They just pay their workers.
They'll know you're from America because when you try to tip them, like, what is that for? And they're like, oh,
I got a little story, a little side bit. Alternatively, or conversely, there was these European guys. Who asked me for directions when I worked at Walgreens one time, and I think they heard that it was customary to tip.
Oh, so they
tried to tip me
just for
being like a nice guy, just for being like
the 7-Elevens over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And they were like, here, this is for you. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like, oh yeah, like a tip. Like, I guess we can get tips. And this manager, she was so. Ugh, God.
And where were you at again?
Walgreens. You don't get tips at Walgreens.
No, that's not a. Yeah, you don't even get. You didn't even get tips at. You didn't even get tips at Jack in the Box. I mean, some people did because they asked for extra ranch, and I gave them a box of it. I tried to tip them
at Wendy's because I knew this lady was having a hard night, and she was just like, pull through for me, and I know the person behind me sucked or in front of me sucked or whatever, and I was just like, here, this is for her, and they were like, that's okay, and I was like, here, take it. And she's like, no, she's okay, it's fine. And I'm like, just someone take it. Like, I'm giving you money.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you not want
or just
the money?
Like take it as like a.
I think part of them, they're also like, we're stealing so much money.
Take it as like a
fine.
Thank you for the gesture at least. Like, you don't have to put the money in your pocket. Give it to someone else. I
started doing that. You know what? There was this old guy who used to come through the drive-through in Starbucks early in the morning, and he was really like. I remember one time he handed me a $5, and I went to put it like in the little jar, and he was like, "Put it in your pocket," and he was like, "Put it in your pocket," and I was like, "Yeah, I think I will, old man. Thank you. That's a great idea." And I just started fucking pocketing tips from like then on.
Yeah.
Every time I got a tip, because I was good in the drive-through. I'm a pretty good drive-through guy. Not that that's like.
I thought I was too.
You know, I was fun, exciting, made jokes with people. I've got good reviews left for me and my name. I got,
There's something about being.
If I got a tip, no one's around. That shit's mine. I'm putting it in my pocket. Oh wow.
It's good to be professional, but it's also good to be a human being too while you're working.
Yes.
Because when I'm serving or something, and like I really don't like some of the appetizers, like any of the food that's on there. And they ask me like, "Hey, what do you think about such and such?" I'm like, "Don't get it."
Yeah.
And they're like, they look at me like, "Wait, what?" Like, "Don't get it.
Don't get it.
It sucks.
Bad.
Don't get it.
Don't want it."
And they're like, "Oh, well, thank you so much for being honest."
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, I'm a human being. Yeah, I work here. My job is.
They asked your opinion, didn't they?
Yeah. It's like, how is this? Like, I wouldn't get it. It sucks. Like I'm. You don't just be like, "Oh yeah, it's super good," which kind of with this new place I'm working at. I'm not going to say what it is, where it is, but like, I don't think I would care to really eat any of the food there.
That's okay.
So that's going to might be a.
I didn't
thing.
drink Starbucks drinks for maybe the whole last year I worked there. I'm kind of fibbing because there was certain drinks I had, but like after the first couple months there, you realize that like how similar the drinks are and how poison they are. And I would literally just watch people get fatter over months of getting the same shitty drinks every day, and it's just like these are literally like limiting your bloodlines right now.
I love
it's fucking
the drip
crazy.
Coffee at the donut shop more than I like Starbucks.
No, 100%. It's great.
I drink decaf.
God, I want coffee right now. Sounds good.
Decaf sounds really cool right now.
I'll get some decaf.
But
I'm gonna get some coffee or something. Go get something after this.
Yeah.
I kind of want fast food. Just talking about the drive-through.
Right, kind of something bad for you and greasy sounds good.
A little bit, yeah.
But how did we get on this trail? I thought we were talking about my.
We were just talking.
Okay, but yeah, what do you
want to get back to?
I want to get back to the whole my sexcapades.
Yeah, please. Let's give me a good sexcapade yarn, and we'll wrap it up. Take your time though.
So
no
basically. Rush. So yeah, that's kind of where I was at. And I was like, man, I gotta make up for not getting laid for so long.
Yeah, lose your virginity
because as a dude, that's that's like not a cool thing to be doing, man. Not getting pussy.
Yeah.
So so I'm just making up, just kind of going back and forth, whether I had to, talk a girl into it, and like hurt her feelings, or just go for just people that were. About that life just as much as me, but they weren't the healthiest people. And guess what? I wasn't healthy either. So two unhealthy people just get together and just do their thing.
Two negatives make a positive.
Yeah. Or make it even worse.
HIV positive.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God I skipped over that shit. I remember I was talking to you and Kylie about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a scary one.
Yeah,
You find out, you're like, oh shit. Is there a way I could have AIDS? Because you find out you're getting tested for something that's kind of routine to be tested for, but then you're like, they wouldn't be testing if they didn't think there was a chance I might actually have AIDS. Oh no, I might have HIV.
But I don't think have you ever been tested for that?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's just part of it. I just want that in there. Like when I get my blood panel done.
Yeah, like I haven't really talked to anyone else that has been tested for that. Or that's never been brought up in conversation or something. I don't know.
You might have AIDS right now, bud. I
probably, you never know. But, hey.
I think you're all right.
I think I'm doing good. No one's ever given me that call yet. So,
hey, listen.
I think I'll be good. But, so yeah, but, I mean, ultimately, I found out, like, all that shit was a big waste of time. Like a big waste of time, like just trying to fuck as many people as you can to make up for this delusional idea in your head. Like it was a big waste of time, like getting, banging all these girls, getting my number higher, than,
one or zero,
a handful of people that I know, like cool, like Kale's been with a lot of girls, but like it doesn't really make me feel good. To this, like right now sitting here, like, yeah, it didn't really make me feel good. Like half of those things were fucking shit shows.
Yeah, not
half
fun.
of them were like, like I'm glad. Like when you're actually having sex with someone, and you're like, can't wait for it to be over. It's kind of like, what are you doing?
God. Well, here's something. I think that the moment you're sharing with the person is really what's important. So trying to imagine you feeling accomplished or feeling like you achieved a goal, because as guys we have this very like kind of standard competitiveness of like, oh, I got the best pussy, I got the most pussy, and I got it first, and I got it better and easier than you did, and they were hotter, and I got the cleaner pussy than you did.
It's just like fucking bragging rights.
That's not a real thing, and that's why it doesn't feel good. Mm-hmm. After you do get a bunch of like hookups, you know what I mean? You don't feel good after, because it's like, well, this isn't like a trophy I can go put on my wall. This isn't like this. Unless
you fucking like me and you write them down in a book.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
I couldn't find, by the way.
Yeah, you couldn't even find. Yeah, so that's just floating around somewhere.
It's somewhere. It's somewhere in this house. Somewhere in a box.
To me, like what I liked about any of the hookups I had wasn't about who I could tell about it. It wasn't about the fucking who it was. It was like, oh, I had fun, or that felt good, or it was a good time, or it was like a good moment, or it was like a good afternoon or whatever the fuck.
So
And it was something that I only shared with that person, and there was nothing else that I enjoyed about it. So the rest of it is just the negative part of like, well, I don't want anyone to know about that, so that's out. Or if I told everyone about that, I would just be looking like a douchebag, so that's out. Or someone else I already know already hooked up with that person, so that's out. So like all those standards you have for like your idea of like, oh, I got it, I achieved it, they kind of go right out the window for me.
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
Right
I
on,
was
that's
like,
good.
dude, I fucked
You have
so
like you have like a top 10 or a
fuck.
top 3 or 5. I don't know. Not trying
All
to put
of the
numbers
ones that
in your
made me
mouth.
come were a top, even if they were gross.
Even if they're on bottom, they're a top.
Yeah, like, you know, any of them that made me come, which not all of them did.
That's not hard.
It's not,
right?
you know, it's it wasn't a thing, but yeah, there's some I was like, oh, that was fun, but like it was like the complete opposite. Like this was, you know, I'm doing this because I'm bored, and this is I was using it just like as like a drug or something. It's like, oh, I'm just using this to
As an escape.
just to take up time or like have like some validation for myself. Like, oh, look, I'm not fucking a loser. Like I'm getting laid right now, even though she's fucking a person I fucking don't really care about at all. Like she's actually very annoying, but she wants to have sex with me. So like, all right. It's kind of like, man, I just didn't, you know. So when I'm looking back at that, I'm like, man, like this is not.
How flattering is it? Someone's like, you're so annoying, but I want to fuck you. Like if someone was talking to me and they're like, look, I can't stand you. You get on my nerves. You're annoying. I think you dress funny, but I really have to fuck you. It's kind of like a compliment. Like if I gotta be like, oh damn, thank you. That's kind of, you know, that's like a little. It's like a backhanded compliment, but like it still feels like guys are so compliment.
I would love that shit.
Deprived.
I would love
if someone was that
shit.
honest with you and said that.
Yeah, dude. Like fucking like I said
like in TV or movies, like when there's those two characters that can't stand each other, but they're like friends of friends, and then they hook up at the end, and they're just like, oh, you fucking, you know, whatever, who so and so can't stand you. There's like a sexual tension there.
Like I fucking can't stand you. You're so annoying, but I'm gonna fuck you. Like
yeah.
I don't think I've ever had anything quite like that.
Well,
But
no, it's not real. It's in
be-
movies, but that's why it's so hot. It's like a fantasy. It's like your brother's friend or your sister's friend, where you like don't get along, or your like stepsister, where it's like
But
there's this animosity.
I have
but
been
your
in a
genitals are
situation
gonna
where you're kind of
collide.
like you're with a coworker or something, and you're like giving them shit, or like a girl that you know you see at the bar or whatever. You just kind of your relationship is you give each other shit, you know, like kind of in a joking way, but you know you're kind of just like. I don't know, like you just kind of talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
And then one day you're just like, you get all drunk and you're just in a situation, and then you just start something just happened and you guys just start banging out of nowhere, and then you're just like, whoa, like that just happened.
Where'd that
like,
come from?
Like I don't know, but let's keep this on the down low. You know, you want to, or you like what do we just do here?
Yeah.
You know, so you can screw things up like that. And then so time went on, you know, and then I stopped, you know, caring or didn't want to try anymore or whatever. Like I said, I was kind of
Burnout.
Yeah, I was just kind of burnt out from the whole dating thing, you know, like going on the Tinder, going on the Bumble, going on all this dumb shit, and then I experimented with hookers and shit. You know, you didn't have to try it all with them.
That hurts me more almost, because I think about the fact that like, actually, I don't know. I feel like hookers, they might actually be more affordable, because you know how much money guys waste just trying to hook up with a girl once, and it might not even go well. It's like date 1, date 2, gift, drinks, coffee, date 3, drinks, dinner, coffee, date, and it's like staying over, gas money to all those things. Like you're spending maybe a couple $100 on like one piece of pussy before you ever get there, and it might suck, and she might just give you a bad hand job. Hookers, you can get off a menu basically, at
Yeah.
a price you can afford, and it's buy once, cry once, instead of paying for someone, dating someone, and then crying emotionally because you feel taken advantage of and abused.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes to all that.
Tell me more about this. You just got into hookers? How do you just find about? Do we? I think we talked about this in the last episode.
The last episode we had touched on it towards the end, like this one.
Oh, okay. Naturally.
So
Best for last.
to recap, my cousin for my birthday, it was my 23rd birthday actually. He said, "Okay, we can either take you to a strip club or I'll give you some money to get a hooker." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I remember the year before, he asked me to do that.
Yeah.
But I
Chickened out.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't take him up on that offer. So the next year I brought it up again.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "All right." So he gave me like $150 or whatever, and and I'm like, "How do you find a hooker?" And he literally got on his computer. He had to have had it like on a file or something. He clicked like a few fucking tabs and this thing popped up, this back page. And
the look you gave me was legendary. You said back page and then gave me this like neo-noir look.
yeah, I was just super surprised. Like, I was like, dude, this guy had that shit on file somewhere, like, minimized somewhere. Or he was, I don't know.
I'm gonna see if it's still
It's not
existing.
a thing, trust me.
It's not?
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna try just for curiosity's sake.
No, that
while
shit,
you're talking.
That shit
Back
got
page.
got shut down a while back.
Ooh, what if it's tobackpage.com?
I don't.
Like a sequel?
I have not. I
Like Pirate
have
Bay?
not tried to look
United
it up
States.
at all. Let me see that.
Yeah.
So
I haven't tried to look it up at all. He's
back page.
showing me.
Oh, that's funny. So this looks exactly how it used to. So you go to your state, preferably. Let's see here, California.
It doesn't even have to be California. Just click anywhere.
But I'm gonna.
You're gonna find a local.
Yeah.
Oh, you're funny.
So let's see here. Santa Maria.
San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria, Santa Barbara.
San Luis Obispo. Let's see what's going on.
Oh, it's San
Slow.
Mateo. Oh, Santa Maria right there. Okay. Does anything
Okay.
come up?
So
Adult jobs is the first thing that pops up. What the fuck? Adult jobs, body rubs, dom and fetish, escorts,
Oh shit!
male escorts,
so-
TS. Was that transsexual?
Yeah.
Phone and websites, strippers and
So
strip
this is
clubs.
so this is interesting.
Hook
So
up
this is
tonight,
way more like
sugar babies.
this looks so much
Worse.
and then there's childcare. Then there's
Lost and found, volunteer.
so you would go on
this is like Craigslist, but there's also hookers.
yeah, but which is strange. It didn't go straight to escorts or dom and fetish. Like none of that shit popped up.
So this,
first.
oh
It was
man,
way
I
more-
gotta get this away from you.
So-
You're
so-
gonna, it's
so
gonna be
this-
worse.
So this is different than what I was used to. Because it was more
Man.
like a legit thing. It would go to first. It would do automotive and like all these things. But
Yeah,
I would go to this
alphabetical.
one. You go to dating.
Dating,
So
women for men, men
Yeah.
for men, men for men. That's for you.
So, which is weird. It's like men or women or a women man. I'm a man.
Well, isn't that women looking for men, and that's men looking for women?
When the alligator mouth is open towards something, is that
That's for value systems. This is a pointing. This is a
Oh.
women are looking for men.
Oh, okay. So that's a.
Men are looking for women.
Oh,
men
so
are
it's like
looking
an
for
arrow.
men. Yeah.
That was probably the most fucking retarded thing I ever said. But
Well, at least you said it on my retarded podcast.
So you push that.
Did you push the men for men one, you smartass?
No. So disclaimer: you are 21.
I'm 26.
So let's see. Oh, I should be pretty interested.
My information's currently being hacked and stolen. My identity's being stolen right as we're on this fucking page.
Yeah, and then fucking Kylie's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, she'll hear this.
Let's see here.
I'm not worried about it.
Available for fun. Okay, so yeah, this looks all familiar to me.
Jesus.
Real sexy kinky escort here. All right, so let's just fucking look up fucking some shit. But yeah, you would just kind of do this, and then
Those all look like fake spam bullshit. It's Ketily. What is that? It's Ketty again. Real sexy
It's
and
Ketty.
kinky escort here. Don't hesitate to message me.
Scam alert.
Scam alert right there. Bam.
So yeah, so they just show like. It's funny. Usually, not all of them would send pictures of their actual face or like nudes like that.
I feel like this is a quick way into human trafficking. What is it? Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Believe it or not. Wait, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want my
Believe
phone?
it or not, I don't think that
I think that's
I
real.
ever was with anyone that was being trafficked or anything like that.
I mean, I believe you, but also, I'm sure they're in the
So obviously this is
degrees of separation from human trafficking might be one or two people.
yeah. So so that's her number right there.
So
I don't
1-900 number.
So delete that and clear your history. But yeah. So I guess it might be a thing again. I don't fucking know. But
It
but
wasn't
yeah, that's
hard
what
to
I,
find.
But that's
it was
what
literally, I didn't even type in to Backpage. I typed in Backpage, and that came up with a full address.
So I guess they redid it now or something. I don't know.
Well, like,
But
like all those torrent
easy,
sites.
that's how easy it was. So you just look
Yeah.
up somebody
Okay.
in your area, and they would give you information. And sometimes they'd give you the rates, like how much she would
They
charge.
better if I'm looking for a hooker.
That one,
they better
that one,
fucking tell
that
me
one
the
didn't
price.
show the rates. Like sometimes they'll just be like,
Oh, okay.
this one for like say like 150 for HH, which is half hour, or this one for HR, for an hour. So that person didn't do all that. So yeah, it's just a sketchy website. But like I was telling you last night, at that time, I was like kind of getting into, it was before I like got into drinking and stuff again. So, it was just a thrill. It wasn't just like so much about just getting laid. Like, like, oh, you can't get laid by yourself, or it wasn't about that. It was just, walking to this sketchy ass fucking the Buckboard in fucking San Maria,
Buckboard
or
Motel,
Travelodge, or
The
some sketchy place in
Buckboard
San Maria, or like
Tranny Lodge,
anywhere. Even in Slow, like they were in the fucking Motel 6s. It's not in like
Motel
the
6.
It was not. It was never a good motel. Actually, the Holiday Inn's rooms were nice in San Maria. I liked going there.
Is that the one on Main, or like the first exit in Santa Maria?
It's right by Boomers.
Yeah, that big ass one. Okay.
So that one was cool. I went there a couple times.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to pay for the hotel room?
No.
They just invite you in?
So what they do is they'll
Like a pimp will get like a hotel room?
no. So I never saw a pimp. I never talked to a pimp.
What do they do? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
But some people do that. But what I experienced, like I never talked to a dude. I never seen a dude.
Unless he was wearing a wig and you were pretending it's a girl that night.
Yeah. I always saw a vagina though. But
Okay.
you never know.
You never know.
But
It could be store-bought vagina.
What they do is
post-op.
they just go around. They don't live there. They'll get a hotel room. They'll go up and down the coast or wherever they're going to.
Yeah.
They'll just get a hotel room, put out their ad.
Oh, they're like
And then-
traveling salesmen.
Yep.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. That makes so much more fucking sense why you don't see hookers just like on the corners of the street anymore.
No, that's how you get caught.
When in Bakersfield, there's this like strip of land on the east side, like this like lot, like an empty lot, like kind of like how the wreck was, where there's just like hookers walking up and down. It's literally a lizard lot. It's fucking crazy. I haven't seen it in years, but it was real, and I remember driving through.
I mean, that was a thing, and I'm pretty sure that still happens to this day. But like, that's a sketchy way to go about it, and most people.
They were tore up looking fucking hookers.
Now,
It was
now
gross.
I'm sure girls just do like Snapchat and things like that now, or social media now, because Backpage and those things aren't really a thing anymore. Even though we did see that right now.
That
So I
looks
don't know.
so fake, though. That looked like, first of all, those were like really professional model photos, just looked like a porn star. And the listing is just a bunch of emojis after words. It's so fake. It's got to be fake. And then the number, what is that? A 900
it
number?
looked, well, they're not from here. Like I said, they travel.
No, but like a 900 number. It's like a prefix for like a fake number, like a I don't know, like a
Well, they usually
spam
have
number.
like. They usually don't use their real phone. They'll use like a little payphone, or like not a payphone,
But
but
like a burner.
yeah.
Okay, that
They
makes
tend
sense.
to use those.
But burners have normal numbers.
I don't know. And she probably
know.
well, a lot of them were fake. You know,
like you. Oh, so yeah, like you.
yeah, a lot of them
actually
were
found
fake.
fake
It
ones,
looked
okay.
it looked like how it used to look when I was looking at it.
Well, then that sounds like that'd be the best fake one because it would look like the most like the real one.
But it's usually it's so sketch now, like, and it's just sketch in general. So I don't recommend doing it. I used to recommend trying it at least once, but I'm like, nah, you don't need to do that anymore. But yeah, they just kind of go up and down the coast. They sell, you know, just kind of
sell their pussy.
sell their pussy a little bit. But yeah, I never
Do you
met
have to wear a condom
yeah,
every time?
every time.
Yeah, that's good. You
Never-
probably don't have AIDS.
Never never do that shit. They blow you with a condom on.
Fuck that. Just let me do it if you're gonna fucking blow me with a condom on.
Yeah.
I mean that makes sense because like honestly you can't just be going
I'm
around
glad
getting STDs from everyone.
I'm glad they did,
Yeah,
but
I don't think I've ever had a condom blowjob in my life. I've also never been with a hooker. So
it's not the best.
it's definitely. You think it's better than a hand job, like a raw hand job?
Oh, I'd rather get a blowjob with a condom any day
Really?
than just
Yeah,
a raw
probably.
hand job, like
Yeah.
no spit, no nothing.
No, I'm
like
just saying
tugging
like
on,
skin on skin, like nothing like.
No, just
even
like
if it's like a bunch of pre.
just trying to like tugging on your fucking dick. No, I'll take a condom blowjob any day. But yeah, I just kind of
Good to know.
I got more into that. Just like I said before, it was just super sketchy. It was super, it's like a raunchy thing to do, and it just gave me this like excitement, like whoa, like because I've heard the
Yeah.
horror stories.
Was that a pun?
horror
Oh, okay.
horror stories
That's the name of the episode now.
from
It's
my
horror stories
actually
with a
from my
W.
cousin, the one that
Oh, yeah,
got me the first one or paid for the first one.
he has some horror stories.
Yeah, like he was in the Navy, and that's what Navy people do.
Oh yeah,
They
I've
just go to
heard
port
some.
to
I've heard
port.
some crazy shit from like Marines and stuff.
Yeah, that's what they do. And he told me a story about his buddy was gonna go get a hooker, and then these two people show up with these two guys with shotguns, grabbed him and like put a shotgun to his head and
Oh, shit.
and robbed him.
Yeah,
And I
that'll
guess
happen.
I guess the girl and the guy. So there's three of them, two guys and the girl. Girl lured him in. Two guys popped up. One of them had a shotgun.
Yeah.
And then the girl and the guy, like I guess, left the room.
Oh,
And
so it's just him.
and
and
so
shotgun?
so the dude with the shotgun wasn't paying attention. This dude, was in the military,
Yeah.
so he grabbed the gun and I guess punched the dude, got the gun away from the guy, turned it around and blasted the dude.
Hell yeah, that's badass. That's fucking
And,
action movie shit. I mean, honestly, if I can do that and you put a gun to me, I hope I do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Hands down. You're playing
Yeah.
with fire, you're gonna get shotgun, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Pointing a gun at someone. If you point a gun at someone, you better also expect to be shot or have a gun pointed at you.
Well, I feel like if you're gonna point a gun at somebody, like you better be ready to use that. You shouldn't just. I mean, if you're just gonna do that and like not actually
one of
want or expect to shoot, but you're gonna use that as a threat. But this motherfucker,
Life gets desperate sometimes.
But this motherfucker
he
can
took
do
a
some
risk. He gambled.
Yeah. So he shot the dude, killed the guy,
Nice.
and then the cops showed up and he told him the situation. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, like I was gonna meet up with this girl, and these guys came and tried to rob me, and then I got the gun away from him and I shot him. And they, him being in the military and crap, they're just kind of like, all right, well,
Sweep it
he
under
had
the
to
rug.
he didn't do anything.
Was this, where was this? Like Bangkok?
No, I think this was in America somewhere.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, this was just because he was stationed.
Wild.
My cousin was stationed in like Virginia, so
Okay.
somewhere in those ports. But
That's crazy.
yeah, it was a super sketchy thing to do, and just like the race that you got from it, just that was what I was more craving. Was just
The excitement, the rush.
dude, the rush that dude. It's a scary thing to do. Like I'm pretty sure, like I've gotten robbed before.
Getting a hooker, you got robbed?
Yeah, but it wasn't like a.
Like a gunpoint? It was like they stole.
No.
So they stole from you?
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, I gave her the money.
Uh-huh.
and so we were supposed to have a car date, right? We go to Slow. We're actually at this parked at the skate park. I pull up, and there's a truck next to me, and then she pulls up on the other side of that truck. She gets in my car, like, yo, all right, you got the money? I'm like, yeah, here you go. It's like, all right, you got a condom? I'm like, no. Like, don't you guys provide that?
Yeah.
You know, they usually do.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, I'm going to go in my car. You know, I'm going to make a phone call. And then I'm going to get the condom and we're going to go someplace else. I'm like, all right, cool. So she goes in her car.
Yeah.
And, like, there are these people, these, like, college kids playing soccer or whatever.
Uh-huh.
This one girl in particular, she was blonde. She had a short skirt. I was, like, staring at her,
Yeah.
you know. Skirt flying in the wind and stuff. And I look over and she's on the phone with somebody, like, you know, outside
The
of her
hooker,
car. I'm like, all right, she's going to come back. So I just keep on watching, you know, these people playing soccer. And I turn around and then her fucking car's gone.
Oh, shit.
So, like, I pull up immediately and I start following this car that I think might be her.
Yeah.
But then when I'm thinking, like, okay, what?
What are you going to be?
What are you going to get in the fucking high-speed chase? Or are you going to fucking... Like, what are you going to fucking do to this person? Like, are you going to fucking grab her by the hair and, like what are you going to do?
You're going to rip her
So
wig off or something?
I stopped following whatever car. And then I was also thinking, like, one, you're not going to do anything. And then two, like, what if you're going to harass someone that wasn't her?
Yeah, got the wrong car.
So I just texted her, like...
Got the wrong hubcaps.
Yeah. I just texted her, like, hey, make sure that I never see you again. I'm gonna fucking stab you or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like,
set the tone.
and she's like, ha ha. And then I'm like, all right. So later on, you know, a couple weeks go or like a week goes by, and I still see her ads popping up.
Oh shit.
And I had this idea, and I was actually really serious about it at one point. I was gonna have like a friend of mine, anyone. I was gonna pick somebody to, you know, set up a meeting with her.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna come with, or like I was gonna like kind of like lurk around and like follow them. And I wanted to buy brand new Timberlands or something at wherever you buy Timberlands or whatever. And once she came out of her car, I was gonna run up and fucking karate kick her in the face. And then I wanted to do that. Like I was going to do that. And then I talked about it in therapy. And then which people like thinking
Kale, I recommend you don't.
if people are thinking like you can say pretty much anything you want to a therapist and they legally cannot say anything
unless you're a harm to yourself or others.
Unless you're going to either like harm yourself or others, which, you know, that would have been
harmful
to
others.
Yeah. Or like if you're gonna, or if you like admitted to like a murder, or if you murder somebody, or you're like then they, you know, all bets are off at that point. But he just kind of told me like, well, hooker or not, she's still a human being that you would kick in the face.
That's not good.
It's still assault, no matter what she does. No matter what she does for a living, you're still assaulting somebody.
Yeah, you don't do a crime against a criminal
and he's all like,
not be
how
a
much
criminal
money?
yourself.
He's like, how much money did you lose? Like $130. Like, all right. I mean, she's in this profession. She's gonna end up in a ditch anyway, or end up somewhere not good. So how about you have someone else do the kicking for you? Or why don't you just, you know, let it go?
Let fate
and
handle it.
You shouldn't be doing that shit anyway. So why don't you just let it go? I'm like, all right. Because he's always right.
What a wise therapist.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to therapy and you're talking about kicking a hooker in the face, and they're like, just
don't.
Sure, go ahead.
Fuck them.
You know,
bad
therapist. You're at the wrong one.
You're the budget therapist.
Yeah,
budget therapy.
So I you know, that was only like maybe 3 or 4 months of doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got mono, and I was talking to this girl at the time, and I didn't want to get her sick, but I wanted to get laid, so that's when I went to the buckboard. That's such a fucking
god awful name. I don't think that's still there.
It is.
It's changed probably the name.
It's still the buckboard.
You still go? Nice.
No, but I still go to Santa Maria.
Okay.
And I drive. It's on Broadway.
Every time I'm in Santa Maria, I feel like I'm disappointing my ancestors.
Yeah, but I mean, at least you don't live there.
I used to live there. It's a shithole.
Yeah, I remember when you were younger, you moved to Orchid or whatever. Whenever I drive on that road, I kind of look and try to remember which house was yours.
That's very sweet.
But so yeah, I stopped. That was the last one I had. It was super sketchy, dude. Like it's like broad daylight. I probably had work later that night or something. I don't know what I was doing.
Just pushing the envelope.
Oh no, I still kind of had remnants of mono at that time, so I wasn't working.
Wow.
And I pull up. There's like somebody like digging in the dumpster, and there's a bunch of there's like 4 or 5 like other like sketchy like sketchy like Hispanic dudes like just like on the top floor.
Oh.
And they're just all looking at me like like
buckboard,
looking at me like what is this fucking white kid like doing here?
Yeah,
so
because you're a skinny white kid.
Yeah.
You don't look like just like a guy. You're like a skinny white kid.
Yeah, so they're
It's
like, what is this dude
funny
doing?
as hell. You look like you have a huge dick, according to TikTok.
Like I said, it just depends on the day or the angle. So I walk into this fucking room, and it seemed like they had someone try to paint like a mural or like a painting like on the wall, but they gave up halfway through. Which I thought was funny, and they did it with like spray paints. Like I don't know who the fuck.
There was like a graffiti mural.
Yeah,
Oh
like
my
something
God.
like that. Like it wasn't even finished. Like I don't know, or maybe she was like midway just painting on the walls.
She's like, "This is my real passion when I'm not
like
turning tricks."
I don't know. Maybe she was just painting on the walls or something. I don't know what the fuck. One, that, or two, and like all those sketchy things that was happening. She wasn't the fucking person that was in the ad either.
Oh.
That also happens.
Oh, that's
Often.
my number one
Girls
thought is this is a fake.
Girls lie about how they look on social media. They also do that. They also do that on Backpage.
What?
Mm-hmm.
They lie?
Yeah.
You mean girls are actually that skinny?
Or that pretty,
Or that pretty?
or
That
same
interesting?
hair color, or
Or-
even the same ethnicity. That's what I
some
found.
people
I thought this
whitewash
was
themselves out.
This was supposed to be a redhead,
Like a white redhead?
a white redhead with a big butt. Right.
Oh.
I walk in, it's a Mexican chick.
Well, Mexicans can have big butts and red hair. There's Mexican ginger,
but she had nothing.
but she was like
It was a completely different person.
she was like a brown complexion, dark haired Mexican girl.
Yeah.
So that was not
Like
the
the
person you
opposite
expected.
of what I looked at in this ad. So
Yeah, if I was gonna go, like pick up a car, and it was supposed to be like a red Chevelle, and I show up and it's like a gray Civic, I'm gonna be very upset.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. So, and I looked at her like, whatever, like you're not what the ad said, but like I'm here. So that happened a few times.
A
Like,
few
all right.
times? How many times did that? Had that?
First off,
if I was getting a hooker and that happened once, I'd go, I fucking hate hookers. This is dumb and stupid. I feel ripped off just because you got ripped off. That feels like a rip off. If you go to pick something up off Craigslist and it's not what they promised in the ad, you're gonna be like, fuck you, and leave. Like, I am baffled right now. Just saying. I don't know. That's just, I'm coming from a place of all
like
of this is vicarious through you. Vicuriosity. Not by curiosity. Sorry,
yeah, I
gotta
mean,
scoot over.
it was kind
Hands
of
off.
upsetting, but they were all like, and it
Fuckable?
was weird. Like, I wouldn't have seen the last one, the Mexican girl, if she had that ad. I wouldn't have seen
Ordered her.
But other girls I saw, I looked at them like, that's not the person in the ad. But I'm just like, sweetheart, like, why are you lying about what you look like? Like, you look fine. I probably would have still hit you up if you would have shown your real face. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's up with that one. She that particular one, she was wearing heels, and I made her take it off, and her feet smelled.
Ooh.
So that one was weird. Oh, and her room smelled like, she smelled like, it smelled like like ash, like weed ash or weed resin. Like she had just got done smoking pot or like a blunt, and it was shitty weed.
Yeah, no.
It was just gross. It was like, dude,
that's where I draw the line for hookers.
Yeah, like that, huh? That's a smelly room.
I know. I'm just like listening to myself.
But the last
like,
one,
oh,
you know, like
gross,
I did the deed, and after that was 2000. That was 2017 was the last time I ever did that.
Wow.
So
you're so bold. I couldn't even imagine
granted, like
doing
I
that
said,
now.
I only did that for like a month and a half. Then I realized, like, once you start running out of money, and then you realize, like, like this is just this ain't a good thing to do.
Not sustainable.
Yeah. So, and I just knew, like I said, I was always chasing a new vice for myself, I guess, and I'm like, yeah, all right, this isn't the thing I want to do. It's too expensive. It's sketchy.
It's illegal.
There's a bunch of, no one cares about that.
No, I know.
But
I honestly, like, I think there's no reason prostitution should be illegal.
I don't think it should be either. I think human trafficking and pimping and all that stuff, like,
is exacerbated by it being illegal.
It should be
just like with the drug trade.
Yeah,
it's exacerbated by the laws. It's so illegal that they have to have gangs smuggle it and kill people in turf wars for this expensive industry with lots of demand that they make tons of money at. You're creating a black market for pussy. It's the same thing. You're creating reasons for people to be human trafficked.
Fucking Australia and like all these
Australia,
and like all these, and same in New Zealand and like other countries, like prostitution is legal and they don't have a human trafficking problem.
How can you make a law that says you can't suck someone's dick for money? That's crazy to me. I don't want to. I'm just saying.
You can take a girl out and buy her dinner and drinks and let her blow you, but
that exchange
just the mere exchange, like, hey, money for this dick, go ahead, like, that's illegal. Which, yeah, like you said, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think a lot of it has to do with I don't know. I think a lot of like laws are based off like religious things that we have,
old ways of thinking.
Yeah, or just like morality,
outdated, antiquated kind of stuff,
like that kind of shit. Like, there's countries out there that are drugs are fully legal, like at what do you call it, Portugal.
Yeah, but they don't do so hot in the Olympics.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Fuck.
I haven't seen a Portuguese movie recently.
Dude. They don't have a good pole vaulting team. Fuck.
They don't have a good bobsled team either.
But the thing is, they might not have a good, Pilates team or whatever the fuck they have in the fucking Olympics. But but they actually don't have a drug problem.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They don't.
I have heard that because they have all those drugs legalized.
Yeah, it's just because it takes the black market like off the equation, because and they have places where you can go to get your fix, like hospitals where you can go get your heroin instead of having to go
They do.
Instead of having to go to Timmy on the street corner
to
get your drugs, you can get it for free at this clinic that will also offer you like counseling and help if you want it.
Yeah.
And they're not cutting that shit with fentanyl, like all these other things. So
I know. Did you know that more people between the ages of 18 and 45 died of fentanyl than any other cause mortality in the last year?
I didn't. I saw that same thing, but I think they said not just fentanyl, but just prescription drugs in general. I think that's what it was.
Well,
but regardless,
even so.
Prescription
and
fentanyl,
bananas. More than heart attacks, suicide, car accidents, gun violence, anything. More people died from drugs.
Yeah.
The whole fuck, and that is, I think, such a direct cause.
Shows something about like the culture in general that needs to be addressed, but they're more focused on, I don't fucking know, just like political crap. Like, we gotta like, I do not want to talk political crap about,
me
about
neither.
That. But like,
gross.
It's just, they're just worried about, you get the vaccine yet? Like, no, but are we gonna address, this whole heroin or this whole pill?
It's the same. It's the same companies. I really am not jumping in line to get more of their drugs, they're destroying middle America. And I don't just mean the Midwest. I mean middle class, lower class, like middle
especially
America.
upper class. How many famous people do you know that died from fucking pills?
I could give a fuck about famous people dying. They don't make my life any better.
Well, what I'm saying is
having a community and having a place where like my children to grow up.
It affects
influence.
Well, no, like the drugs affects the upper, lower, or mid, and lower. It affects everybody. Yeah. But especially, you know, I guess like the lower.
Like the people that aren't going to get the in memoriam at the Oscars. Mm-hmm. All, you know, fucking every county in Ohio has a bigger prescription or heroin overdose than the last. You know,
it's all about.
It's crazy.
It's all about. I mean, money.
Yeah,
it's all about money. It's a sketchy.
Those pharmaceutical companies are like just the actual devil. I don't think there's anything worse that I've seen in my lifetime than what prescription pill, like pharmaceutical companies have done to just American civilization.
You know, I noticed that in my own personal life when I used to sell like weed and coke, and I dabbled in selling pills too. And I only sold things to like my friends. I wasn't like,
it's even worse.
I wasn't just like El Chapo fucking, oh look at that.
You're just killing your friends.
I'm fucking up my friends. And I remember just hanging out with my friends, like selling them pills or whatever, and they're doing them right there, and they're just like, and at that time I'm sober, so they're just super fucked off, dude. Like they were just super fucked off. They were just like, I just didn't like being around it or like seeing them like that. So I still probably had like, I don't know, dude, like 100 pills left or somewhere around there. And I'm like, I think I might have just given them to somebody else, or like I
didn't profit off.
I gave them away to someone else was in that life. But like, I was like, dude, get here.
You
happy
didn't want
birthday.
to be responsible for it.
Hey, happy birthday. This is yours.
If you ever see Kylie's arm, you see that giant scar up her arm. It's from someone on pills, driving and falling asleep at the wheel, and almost killing her and almost making her lose her arm.
Exactly.
Like that shit is just everywhere.
So I really didn't like that. You know, selling people pot. You know,
that's not even a drug.
That's
just a plant.
I only dabbled in cocaine for a short while. I realized. What was I gonna say? I only dabbled for a little bit because really the money I was making versus the risk was just not worth it. But yeah, I stopped doing that because of just screwing up my friends. So I just gave it to somebody, like, look, dude, like I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then I stopped doing that, and then
I think, you know, if I've learned anything from you in these past 3 podcasts we've done over the years, it's that you're constantly in a better place than you were before. Whether it's mentally, spiritually, physically, I am really excited to see what else you do and where else I can fit in that equation, being your friend.
Well, you're going to fit regardless of what I'm doing. So
that's
all
right.
My friends, and my goal is to really sum up anything that we were talking about. Like my goal really is just to not let like whatever's troubling me, like whether it be anxiety or whether it be, you know, depressions. I don't really get depressed, but like, you know, anxiety and depression kind of go hand in hand. You know, girl issues or, you know, job hiccups, you know, like my goal is just to try to think more positive and really hang out with the people that I really care about. Like hanging out with you guys yesterday was probably like, it was super dope because I have not seen, I see you guys like individually sometimes.
I've seen the rest of them who live in San Diego more than I've seen you since I moved back. Yeah.
And my goal really is to just get out of this kind of like bubble I put myself in for the last like 5 years of my life, and like, well, not really just bubble, not really 5 years, but you know, for a while I need to, you know, just whether I'm skating or not, just you know, just do new things, be happy, and just, you know, don't drink as much, and because this is the first podcast, because all the other ones
we're drinking.
I think the last
we drank together.
I think the first podcast and second, I think the second one I drank like a bottle of fucking Bombay.
Oh yeah,
to
nice.
myself.
Yeah.
And
you had the Patron at the first one, I think.
Yeah, I was just, you know, getting hammered, which was it's all fun.
This is honestly,
but like I also I had just as much as fun, and like had a cool conversation with you, totally sober, and it was really cool. I was telling my therapist today that I was at the bar. I didn't yesterday when we hung out there. I did not feel like like, all right, Kale, be strong, don't get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I didn't feel like that at all. I was like, cool, I'm with my friends, I'm enjoying myself. Yeah. Like I don't have to drink or numb myself like that anymore to enjoy myself, which what I've been doing for the last ever since Matt died. That's what really made me, because I was already having fun I was already drinking too much before that, but hey, I was having fun. You know, that's what you do. I like to drink, but I really drank a whole lot after Matt, and I did things that I probably shouldn't have done. You know, I was, you know, just made bad decisions when I was drinking, and you know, I fucking woke up in my garage with the car on with the door down and shit, you know, straight fucking what do you call it, hot tub time machine shit. Yeah. So
damn.
And you know, look at when you really ask like what's up with your car, it's like that's fucking alcohol right there. That's just me. And yeah, like I could totally, you know, how I've made it home all the times I have, I really don't know how. So at this point, you know, and why I drink so much is to, you know, escape from all the things that, you know, I like, these things I go to therapy for. So, I mean, although I've done a lot better in my life in regards to those, but that's why I drink. And I think drink when you want to have fun. Don't drink to escape anything. And I'm going to advocate, like, don't escape anything at all. Just if something makes you feel like shit, you know, I'm not saying, you know, like literally, you know, punching my face hurts, don't stop, it's good for you, like not anything not literal like that, but if something's bothering you or something's like keeping you back or keeping you in a bubble and you don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable, that's the thing you need to do, is the thing that makes you uncomfortable in life. And that's what I'm like, I've always known that, but I think me being like taking it easy on the drinking and not being in the fog so much has really made me kind of believe that, because you can say all these things, but when you believe them and actually act on it, it's a different kind of realization. So I just kind of say, yeah, anyone going through some shit and they're like numbing it up with whether it be drugs, alcohol, sex, prostitutes, fucking video games, even weed, you know, whatever you're into, if you're using it as like an escape or something, it's not the best thing, and I recommend that you do things that's uncomfortable so you can actually be who you're actually supposed to be, you know, and you won't get that way until you actually go out there and do the shit that makes you uncomfortable in life. So that's where I'm at right now.
Thank you, Kale.
Love you, babe. Until next time.